Hello everyone, I'm very glad that you listened to my story. Please give me a follow and like the video if you enjoyed it. Feel free to comment and provide feedback so I can improve the sound quality. Yes, I will now continue the unfinished story. Chapter 39. Wu-Tu's Map. New Monster. In the Lord's wooden house, the living room. My lord, this is a map drawn by Wu-Tu after exploring the Blazing Sun Desert today. It is a complete map of the Blazing Sun Desert area. Bai Yi glanced at Wu-Tu after giving her report. Wu-Tu looked nervous. He walked towards Jojo and handed him the map with both hands upon hearing Bai Yi's words. Jojo took it and immediately started studying it. An item notification appeared in front of him. Area map name, Blazing Sun Desert map, current exploration rate, 59%. Map quality, black iron tier. Total area, 523 square kilometers. Map introduction. This map depicts the general terrain of the Blazing Sun Desert and the related map information. It includes the area, geographical scale, desert terrain distribution, the range and location of your own territory, the coverage of desert vegetation type resource points, the range and activity of scattered monsters, the range and location of the Scarlet Lord's territory, and the territory and location of the Lord of all races. There's actually an item notification. Is this acknowledged by the Supreme Will? Jojo looked at the map even more seriously, surprised at this development. It was a 1 meter long by half meter wide yellowish-brown papyrus map which depicted an irregularly long and narrow desert terrain. It looked remarkably lifelike with very vivid markings in many places. For example, the location of Blazing Sun City was marked with a small sundae. There were also the ruins of the Desert Fog Lizard territory and the ruins of the Black-tailed Fog Scorpion territory. The two places that Jojo had captured had also been marked with the simple image of the Desert Fog Lizard and the image of the Black-tailed Fog Scorpion. In addition, Jojo also saw a specific scale in the bottom left corner of the map, as well as some marks of desert vegetation, quicksand, and scattered monsters. Other than that, he also saw two red highlights. One was a simple human face marked as the territory of an unfamiliar human lord about 30 kilometers northeast of Blazing Sun City. There was a special label beside it. There were no more than 50 people inside this territory according to a preliminary assessment. The other was the mark of a Scarlet Lord. Its specific label was region-level Scarlet Lord Sandman Lord's territory. It was about 35 kilometers to the east of Blazing Sun City, and according to preliminary assessment, there were about 1,000 sandmen and fog monsters in it. Jojo looked at the map in surprise. Fear came from the unknown. Originally, he did not know much about the overall environment of the Blazing Sun Desert. Therefore, he subconsciously felt that his surroundings were very dangerous even though he already had thousands of soldiers. That was why he had always gone all out, because he did not want to fail miserably. However, the rich information on this map immediately made Jojo feel much more at ease. He even entertained the thought of trying to conquer the entire Blazing Sun Desert since he seemed to be able to take down the remaining two lords' territories after all. This was the importance of information. Without the information on this map, Jojo might have had the same thoughts without the confidence. Jojo could not help but look at Wu-Tu's day. What a talent! Nice map. I love it, Jojo said. When Wu-Tu heard this, joy immediately appeared on his originally anxious expression. Starting today, you're the vice captain of your scout team. In addition, this Mechanostrider belongs to you now. Jojo continued. Wu-Tu was stunned when he heard that. The Lord actually gave him such a huge reward for completing his first mission. He remembered that the only other person in the territory who owned a Mechanostrider was Bai Yi, who had followed Jojo from the beginning. The others only had the right to use it. He had just become the second person after Bai Yi to own one. When Wu-Tu thought of this, he could not help but feel a little dazed. No matter how perfectly he completed the task of drawing the map in the army previously, his higher UPS would only pay lip service without promoting him because he was still a child. They were worried about handing over a higher position to him. He had only joined this place for less than a day, but he already obtained what he had always wanted. It was not a higher position, nor was it a mechanostrider, but trust. His lordship was really different. You don't have to be so surprised. I've seen your ability. Since it has reached the standard, I will naturally give you the corresponding reward and position so that you can unleash your ability. However, even though you're the vice captain now, you should listen to others' opinions when you encounter situations. Trust your teammates. They may not be as good at making maps as you are, but there's still a lot you can learn in other areas. Don't disappoint me. Jojo smiled. Thank you, my lord. Wu Tu will definitely not disappoint, my lord. Wu Tu's face flushed red with excitement. Keep working hard and you'll have a chance to be the captain. Now, tell me in detail about these two territories. Jojo smiled. Wu Tu nodded excitedly. Bai Yi smiled and took a step forward. Yes, my lord. The standard unknown human lord's territory on this map was first discovered by us during our exploration. We encountered a team of 8 human soldiers with 4 sword shield soldiers, 3 spearmen, and 1 bowman. They look similar to us humans. And I don't know if I'm overthinking it, but they were protecting the bowman behind them. I feel that his speech and accent is very similar to the lord's. Jojo raised his eyebrows when he heard this. Did they meet another cerulean planet lord? He did not say anything and continued to listen to Bai Yi. Subsequently, I followed them secretly and found their territory. I realized that their territory is also protected by the novice lord's protective barrier. I didn't act rashly. I asked Wu Tu to record the location. After observing for a while, I continued to explore in the distance. That's where we found the territory of this regional lord, the Sandman Lord. He is a white silver tier elementary grade regional Scarlet Lord, and he has about 1,000 Sandman under his command. He is very powerful, so I didn't approach rashly, but I did kill a lone Sandman nearby and brought its corpse back. The body of the Sandman is at the door now. Bai Yi said. Let's go take a look. Jojo immediately stood up. Bai Yi and the others naturally had no objections. The 3 of them walked out of the room. Jojo quickly saw the corpse of the Sandman. Jojo was stunned at first glance. This was because he realized that the Sandman's corpse was very similar to the Sand soldiers he had summoned with the Emperor of Sand's spatial ring. However, they did not have the standard equipment and weapons of the Sand soldiers. Monster name, Sandman. Monster description, a monster from the blazing desert, born in the scarlet fog. It was once a subject of the Emperor of the Sand. After the Emperor of the Sand fell, it was converted by the Scarlet Lord to become his subject. Loot, 4 black iron tier mist core, drop rate, 100%, 1 kilogram dark iron sand crystal, drop rate, 10%, 1 black iron tier elementary grade sandification skill book, drop rate, 5%, 1 black iron tier elementary grade Sandman summoning skill book, drop rate, 2%. Chapter 40. Building materials, sand crystal. Jojo's arrangement. They were once the subjects of the Sand Emperor. Jojo looked at the Sandman's corpse in surprise. He looked at the Emperor of Sand's spatial ring on his right hand, thinking that he was really fated with this Emperor of Sand. However, when Jojo saw the drop rate of the Sandman, he realized something. This kind of monster did not drop the soldier class change certificate nor the soldier recruitment book. I was right. Not all monsters drop military-related items. Jojo thought. Then, he placed his hand on the corpse. Lord Talent hint, you have obtained these loot 4 mist cores, black iron tier, 1 kilogram of sand crystal, black iron tier, 1 sandification skill book, black iron tier mist core, 1 Sand Summoning Skill Book, Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade. The loot dropped. It was relatively small compared to the desert fog lizard and the black-tailed fog scorpion, but he didn't think too much about it since there were skill books. Jojo began to check the loots. First, was a type of sand crystal that he had never seen before. It was a yellow prismatic crystal the size of a fingernail. It felt cold to the touch. Material name, sand crystal. Material grade, black iron tier. Material effect, iron grade building materials produced in the desert can be added to other building materials, increasing the defense of completed buildings by 50%, earthquake resistance by 50%, and the effect of warm buildings in winter and cool buildings in summer by 1 point. Material description, a special material produced in a desert environment. Incorporating it into building materials will make the building stronger and more stable. It can also stabilize the temperature in the room so that it would not be affected by the temperature change outside. The moment Jojo saw the material, an idea immediately occurred to him. He had to protect the Sandman even if it was only because of the sand crystal material with its amazing construction effects. He was even willing to build a monster ranch for the Sandman. He had no choice. The temperature difference between day and night in the desert was huge, more than 20 degrees Celsius. If they wanted to live well in such an environment, sand crystals that could warm the room in winter and cool it in summer were simply too important to them. As for cruelty, he had no such concept. Even though the Sandman's name had the word man in it, they were essentially just desert elemental monsters condensed from the scarlet fog. To put it bluntly, it was just a ball of fog. The name Sandman was simply because it had similar limbs to humans. It was not human at all. Therefore, Jojo would not feel that he was cruel just because he killed a ball of fog. But I only have one origin crystal left. I cannot use it randomly. It might be used to upgrade the territory in the future after all. It would not be too late to build a Sandman's monster ranch when I have more origin crystals. Jojo thought. He kept the sand crystal and looked at the next item. Skill name, sand form. Skill quality, black iron tier elementary grade. Skill description, sandify a part of the body for 1 second. Immune to black iron tier physical damage. After 1 second, the sandified part of the body will return to its original state. Jojo nodded after reading it. It could make a part of his body invincible for a second. That sounded like a pretty slick skill. The only pity was that he was immune to black iron tier physical damage for only 1 second. The upper limit was a little low. Nonetheless, it was only a black iron tier elementary grade skill after all. Jojo could not ask for too much. He learned directly. Then, he looked at the next skill. Skill name, Summon Sandman. Skill description, Summoning type skill. Controls the sand element and condenses a black iron tier elementary grade Sandman that completely obeys your orders and has simple intelligence to fight for you. Jojo shook his head. It was a pity. The effect of black iron tier elementary grade skill was indeed average. This skill could only summon one Sandman. His ring allowed him to summon more advanced sand soldiers. Moreover, as long as he had enough mental strength, he could summon an unlimited number of them. The difference between the two was obvious. However, Jojo still lapped it up. In any case, there was no harm in having more skills. Moreover, after learning it, this skill would be considered his ability. It could be used without the help of external objects like the ring, so he could use it without worry. He put away the loot and returned to the Lord's wooden house. Jojo pondered for some time before he looked up at Bai Yi. Tomorrow morning, arrange for 20 members of the scout team to monitor the territory of that unfamiliar human lord. Try to confirm the existence of their lord. If you find anyone coming out of their territory, arrest them immediately and inform me. Jojo looked at Wu Tu again. Tomorrow, I will assign you a green bronze tier elementary grade soldier to guard your scout team. Your mission is to investigate the environment outside the blazing sun desert. It's best if you can make a map. If you discover an area where there are local forces, such as the territory of the Aurora Kingdom, focus on that area immediately. Let's try to investigate the situation there first. Jojo was still thinking about Linger's lucky situation. If only he could also encounter a local faction and obtain a large number of jobless subjects like Linger. Then the Sword Shield Soldier class change certificate and Poison Crossbow Soldier class change certificate that he had been holding onto would come in useful. At that time, his troops would welcome an unprecedented increase. Yes, my lord. Wu Tu agreed excitedly. Bai Yi and Wu Tu left. Zhang Kang, who had cleared the monsters nearby and returned, also came over to report the results from his team. After half a day, they had killed a total of 132 desert fog lizards and 66 black-tailed fog scorpions. These monsters were all scattered throughout the entire blazing sun desert. They only found so many after searching for more than half a day. Jojo handed the map that Wu Tu had given him to Zhang Kang. Make a copy of this map and return it to me. Tomorrow, follow the distribution of the monsters here and find and clean them up. We don't need any other monsters other than our domesticated monsters. Jojo said. Yes, my lord. Zhang Kang held the map as if it was a treasure. With this map, they did not need to look for monsters like headless flies. Then, Jojo followed Zhang Kang to retrieve the loot. Half an hour later, all the loot had been extracted. Among the 198 monster carcasses, there were 128 black iron tier elementary grade iron, 46 black iron tier intermediate grade, and 24 black iron tier advanced grade corpses. After extracting the loots, he obtained a total of 632 black iron tier mist cores, 6,800 units of flesh, black iron tier elementary, intermediate, and advanced grade, 299 kilograms water bag, 66 portions of black-tailed fog scorpions poison sacs. Black iron tier elementary, intermediate, and advanced grade, 66 bottles of antidotes. Black iron tier elementary, intermediate, and advanced grade, 113 Sword Shield Soldier class change certificates. 39 Sword Shield Soldier recruitment books, 99 Poison Crossbowman class change certificates. 31 Poison Crossbowman recruitment books, 6 Black Scorpion Poison Crossbows, 18 Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Sand Stealth books and 6 Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Antidote formulas. After Jojo put away the loot, he went to the Gate of Summoning and used the recruitment books he had just obtained to summon 39 Sword Shield Soldiers and 31 Poison Crossbow Soldiers. He also asked them to report to Bai Yi. Now, he had 1,108 soldiers under him. At this moment, Zhao Changshao walked over from afar and arrived in front of Jojo. I've something to report, my lord. The second monster ranch is complete. There was a happy smile on his face. He participated in the construction of this special building and felt that he had benefited greatly. He could vaguely feel that he was going to become a white platinum tier advanced grade architect soon. Let's go take a look. Jojo immediately said. Zhao Changshao smiled and nodded as the two of them walked towards the new monster ranch. Chapter 41. The fifth day. The first carpenter. Jojo and Zhao Changshao arrived at the second monster ranch in no time. This monster ranch was beside the Desert Fog Lizard Monster Ranch. It was exactly the same as the monster ranch beside it, be it in terms of the architectural style or size. The only difference was, this monster range held black-tailed fog scorpions. Thank you both for your hard work. It's nothing. Special buildings are hard to come by. I'm more than happy to be able to preside over the construction of a special building even after I retire. Zhao Changshao looked at the building in front of him with a smile. He had presided over the construction of countless buildings of all sizes in the Aurora Kingdom throughout his life. However, very few of them were special buildings. From this, it could be seen how rare and precious special buildings were. Then, he thought of something and turned to Jojo. "By the way, my lord. The first tailor shop in our territory was also built just over an hour ago." Bao Xiuer's face appeared in his mind immediately. Speaking of which, he had been too busy recently and had not seen her much. However, from what others said, during this period of time, Bao Xiuer often repaired the soldiers' clothes. She was so busy that she could not be seen sometimes. It would indeed be difficult to find her unless she took the initiative to appear. "Let's go take a look," Jojo said. Zhao Changshao said respectfully. A moment later, in front of the tailor shop, Jojo stood at the door and peered inside. The tailor shop had been tidied up. Not far away, Bao Xiuer was mending a coat seriously under a candle lamp. Her originally delicate and good-looking face looked even better under the candle light. He opened her attribute panel. He realized that Bao Xiuer had advanced from a black iron tier advanced grade tailor to a green bronze tier elementary grade tailor. Jojo was not surprised at all. She was already talented. And yet she was still so hard-working. It would be unreasonable for her life profession level not to advance. He wanted to go over and greet her. However, looking at how focused she was, he quietly dismissed this plan. "Let's return. Aren't you going in to talk to her? She often nags about you, my lord, whenever I meet her." Zhao Changshao stroked his beard and smiled. "What does she nag about? She would be wondering why aren't my lord's clothes torn yet." Jojo was speechless. "Can't she say something good about me? This little girl might just want to get closer to you, my lord." He did not reply. Then, the two of them turned around and left without saying anything. Along the way, Jojo suddenly turned to look at the tailor shop. The candlelight there was still warm and gentle. It made his heart calm down. Jojo suddenly seemed to understand something. Maybe protecting such a heartwarming place in this chaotic world was also one of the reasons why lords like them existed. The next morning, the lord's wooden house. In the master bedroom, Jojo woke up in a daze. And then, he realized that he was trapped by the bed and could not get up. Jojo was helpless and could only open the world channel, planning to dive in it for a while. Then, his gaze was immediately attracted by the blood-red countdown at the top of the channel. Countdown, 73 hours, 26 minutes, 25 seconds. It's the 5th day already. Time flies. The novice lord test will be here in another 2 days. Jojo sighed. He looked at the lord's comments. He realized that the other lords were also discussing the novice lord test. It's over. There are only 2 days left before the novice lord test. I'm so flustered. What should I do? Are you as anxious as me? I only have 10 soldiers under me now. The strongest amongst them is only a black iron tier intermediate grade spearman. Bro, you actually have 10 soldiers. I'm envious. Envy +1. Envy +2. Envy +10,086. At least you have soldiers. The subjects I summoned from the gate of summoning are either jobless subjects or trashy life professionals. Not a single soldier has appeared. I haven't dared to leave the novice lord's protective barrier for the past 5 days. I've been relying on exchanging the products of life professionals in the marketplace for food to survive. Not a single soldier? What luck. Life professionals are useful in the later stages. They are really not very useful in the early stages. I'm already prepared to give up my territory. A friend of mine, who has already given up his territory, told me that I will automatically become an adventurer and will also have professional strength as long as I give up my status as a lord for more than a day. However, I wouldn't be able to rely on soldiers to kill monsters to increase my strength like a lord. I have to kill monsters myself to increase my strength. It doesn't sound bad. I'm a little tempted. All of you can become adventurers. I will definitely pass the novice lord test. Adventurer. It turned out that one could give up his status as a lord and would automatically become an adventurer. It sounded pretty good. They would not have to worry about the novice lord test then. A large group of lords will probably give up their status. Jojo pondered. As for him who had mastered 3 lord talents, he would not do too badly in the future. Naturally, he would not give up his status as a lord. He was not in the mood to continue sleeping. He simply got up and walked out of the lord's wooden house. He went to the gate of summoning and summoned his subjects for the day. Greetings, my lord, X12. The 12 of them said respectfully. Hello, everyone. From today onwards, you are the subjects of Blazing Sun City. Then, he looked at the 12 people. There were a total of 10 men and 2 women among these 12 people. 9 of them were unemployed subjects without any profession. As for the other 3 professionals, one of them was a middle-aged man with a black iron tier intermediate grade life professional. The other person was a little younger. He was a young man in his 20s and was a black iron tier elementary grade carpenter. This was also the first carpenter in his territory. The last person was a black iron tier advanced grade doctor, a white-haired female elder. Jojo opened the interface information of the black iron tier elementary grade carpenter. Subject, Zhu Yinglun. Life profession, carpenter. Ability overview, from the Aurora Kingdom's Canal Village. He has inherited carpentry skills from his elders since he was young. He is meticulous and patient. He knows how to make some simple and common furniture and daily necessities and yearns for life in the outside world. Skills, woodworking skill, simple furniture, black iron tier elementary grade, woodworking skill, simple farming tool, black iron tier elementary grade, woodworking skill, small wooden cart, black iron tier elementary grade, woodworking skill, water cart, black iron tier intermediate grade, incomplete. Potential, white silver tier advanced grade. He was quite satisfied. Even though his potential was average. The carpentry skills he learned were very practical. Especially the craftsmanship of making furniture and small wooden carts. The newly built residences needed furniture. His loot transport team also needed small wooden carts. With this young man around, in the future, he would not have to buy these things at the marketplace. As for the remaining 9 people, Jojo thought for a moment. He did not arrange for them to change their profession to military professions. Instead, he arranged for them to be assigned to Zhao Changshao to increase the number of builders so that they could build houses faster. There were only 6 new residences in his territory. However, there were already more than 1,000 residents. It could be said that Zhao Changshao and Elder Zhao lacked the most hands. As for the army, 10 more or 10 less people would not make much difference anyway. It was better to leave these people to Zhao Changshao and Elder Zhao. After arranging everything, he took Nazario to the monster ranch. Chapter 42. Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade. Nazario's Breakthrough. In front of the monster ranch, Mugu immediately emerged to welcome Jojo. He looked around and realized that the 2 monster ranches were already filled with desert fog lizards and black-tailed fog scorpions. My lord, I nurtured a total of 500 desert fog lizards and 500 black-tailed fog scorpions in these 2 monster ranches through the night. Among them are 244 black iron tier elementary grade desert fog lizards, 235 black iron tier intermediate grade desert fog lizards, and 21 elite black iron tier advanced grade desert fog lizards. There are also 186 black iron tier elementary grade, 308 black iron tier intermediate grade, and 6 elite black iron tier advanced grade black-tailed fog scorpions. Mugu only realized that his lord had not brought Bai Yi and the others along this time after he spoke. He froze. However, he believed that the Lord had his own intentions, so he did not ask further. That was indeed the case. Today, I plan to use the monsters in these monster ranches to upgrade my pet. Jojo continued. Just release them in batches as usual. According to the information Bai Yi and the others had obtained, the regional Scarlet Lord was at White Silver Tier Elementary Grade. Jojo was confident that his Nazario should be able to win against this White Silver Tier Elementary Grade Scarlet Lord. However, he felt that he could still increase the odds. For example, if his Nazario could advance to White Silver Tier Grade, wouldn't it trash that White Silver Tier Elementary Grade Scarlet Lord? That was why he did not bring Bai Yi and the others to the Monster Ranch this time. He planned to let Nazario monopolize the advancement energy of these two monster ranches today. Mugu nodded respectfully when he heard Jojo's words. Then, he began to release the first batch of 10 Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade Desert Fog Lizards. Go on. Remember not to burn the bodies. Your master still has to retrieve the loot. When you advance to White Silver Tier Grade, I'll reward you with 100 Black Iron Tier Mist Cores. Jojo looked at Nazario beside him. At this moment, Nazario was already as tall as an adult. Its growth speed was astonishing. It immediately cried out excitedly when it heard Jojo's words. Then, it flew in front of the 10 desert fog lizards and looked down at them excitedly. The next second, it pounced forward and fought the 10 desert fog lizards head-on. Nazario remembered its master's words. Don't destroy the corpses of these fog monsters. Therefore, it did not use its magma dragon breath. Instead, it relied purely on its physical strength to deal with these fog monsters. How terrifying was the physical body of a pure-blooded dragon! Even if Nazario was only a young dragon, desert fog lizards would still be injured and die if they came into contact with its body. When Jojo saw this, he nodded secretly. At this moment, a gentle energy suddenly enveloped in his heart. Then, it instantly surged into his limbs, bones, and soul, greatly strengthening them. I broke through. He reacted and immediately opened his lord's personal information. In the strength class column, his strength had already risen from Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade to Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade. I've finally broken through. He did not know if it was because his status as a lord was special and needed more advancement energy. Bai Yi and the others had long broken through to the Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade, while he remained at that same grade. It was hard enough to watch others advance when he did not. Fortunately, he still broke through in the end. After that, Jojo collected the loot while watching Nazario destroy the desert fog lizards. When it killed about 70 to 80 desert fog lizards, Nazario suddenly let out an impatient dragon roar and rushed past Mugu into the desert fog lizards monster ranch. When the surrounding 400 desert fog lizards saw this monster they had never seen before charge in, they immediately prepared to attack Nazario with ferocious expressions. A young but domineering dragon roar sounded. Dragon might instantly erupted. All of the desert fog lizards immediately stood on the spot in fear, unable to move. Nazario sneezed proudly when it saw this scene. Then, it began to kill these helpless desert fog lizards like a wolf entering a flock of sheep. When Jojo, who was originally a little worried, saw this scene, a smile immediately appeared on his face. This dragon might effect is a little ridiculous. I underestimated it when I asked Mugu to release them in batches of 10. He was no longer worried. He sat down again and continued to retrieve the loot. Nazario, which had just slaughtered the entire desert fog lizard monster ranch, suddenly raised its head and roared. Its voice was like the roar of a heavenly dragon, resounding through the world. Jojo seemed to have sensed something and immediately stood up. Wisps of blood-red-hot fire elements condensed into an elemental flow that appeared out of thin air around Nazario, making it look like a dragon god in flames. Then, a portion of the elemental flow seemed to have been summoned and fused into Nazario's body. Another portion formed a ferocious armor made of lava on the surface of its body. During the integration process, Nazario's body also began to increase at a visible speed. 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters, 6 meters. Nazario's body only slowly stopped growing after it grew to more than 6 meters tall. Then, the advancement phenomenon around it slowly disappeared. At the same time, a series of text notifications appeared in front of Jojo. Congratulations, your pet, the lava dragon, has broken through to white silver tier elementary grade. The magma dragon breath of the lava dragon has been strengthened. The lava dragon's dragon might has been strengthened. The lava dragon has comprehended the growth type draconic spell, elementary fire elemental control, from draconic magic mastery. The lava dragon has awakened the lava armor from the inheritance of the dragons. The lava dragon's epic tier elemental immunity and epic tier physical immunity awakening rate has increased from 1% to 3%. Nazario actually obtained so many benefits from just a breakthrough to white silver tier grade. As expected of a pure-blooded dragon, he saw Nazario turn and look at him eagerly. Then, he reacted and happily took out 100 black iron tier mist cores from his spatial ring. Then, he thought for a moment and took out another 900 black iron tier mist cores. Nazario's eyes lit up. It stared at the 1000 black iron tier mist cores. Elementary fire elemental control. The 1000 black iron tier mist cores suddenly ignited with flames out of thin air. Then, they melted into wisps of fiery red energy and flew into its mouth. It smacked its lips, looking extremely satisfied. Normally speaking, I should have fed you with white silver tier mist cores after you broke through to the white silver tier elementary grade. But I don't see any white silver tier monsters now. So I'm compensating you with more black iron tier mist cores. Nazario nodded like a human and flew straight to the territory of the black-tailed fog scorpion. It looked down at these monsters and growled. The white silver tier dragon might instantly swept through the entire monster ranch. More than half of the 500 black-tailed fog scorpions were directly knocked out. The remaining black-tailed fog scorpions were even more ridiculous. They died and fell to the ground. My good boy. So this is the strength of a pure-blooded dragon after breaking through. Chapter 43. White Platinum Tier Elementary Grade Hidden Mission. Nazario's speed of dealing with the black-tailed fog scorpion was clearly faster after it was promoted to white silver tier elementary grade. In less than a moment, all 500 black-tailed fog scorpions died under its sharp claws. Then, it immediately flew in front of Jojo and looked at him with a proud expression. Well done. After Jojo praised it, he subconsciously wanted to hug it like before. However, he gave up on this idea in the end and looked regretfully at its 6-meter-tall body. No wonder people often say that children are no longer cute when they grow up. In the time that followed, Jojo began to extract the loot from the bodies of these fog monsters. During this period, Bai Yi also left Blazing Sun City with 20 members of the reconnaissance team to monitor the territory of the unfamiliar human lord. Wu Tu led the remaining 30 members of the reconnaissance team and a green bronze tier elementary grade sword shield soldier to explore the surrounding environment of the Blazing Sun Desert. Under Jojo's orders, Zhang Kang left 100 soldiers to help Zhao Changshao build houses, a carpenter workshop, warehouses, and other buildings. Then, he led the remaining 900-odd people to clean up the remaining monsters in the Blazing Sun Desert according to the map he had created yesterday. Everything was proceeding in an orderly manner. More than an hour later, all 1,000 loot were extracted from the monster corpses. He obtained a total of 3,245 black iron tier mist cores, 33,020 units of flesh, black iron tier elementary, intermediate, and advanced grade, 1,159 kilograms water bags, 500 portions of the black-tailed fog scorpion's poison sacs. Black iron tier elementary, intermediate, and advanced grade. 500 bottles of antidotes. Black Iron Tier Elementary, Intermediate, and Advanced Grade. 521 Sword Shield Soldier Class Change Certificates. 256 Sword Shield Soldier Recruitment Books. 506 Poison Crossbowman Class Change Certificates. 314 Poison Crossbowman Recruitment Books. 21 Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Sand Stealth Techniques. 6 Black Scorpion Poison Crossbows. 6 Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Antidote Formulas. Jojo was very satisfied looking at the loots. Having a stable income every day was very comfortable. Moreover, as the monster ranch was gradually upgraded, it was foreseeable that his stable income would increase. Then, Jojo brought 256 Sword Shield Soldier Recruitment Books and 314 Poison Crossbow Soldier Recruitment Books to the Gate of Summoning and threw them all in. Sword Shield Soldiers and Poison Crossbow Soldiers walked out one after another. After bowing respectfully to Jojo, they silently came behind him and began to line up. A total of 570 soldiers stood neatly behind Jojo. He turned around and looked at the 570 people in front of him, feeling a little emotional. Actually, logically speaking, as a white silver tier lord talent, the monster ranch would not have played such a ridiculous role. Even if the other lords could obtain this lord talent, they would have an exclusive leveling spot that belonged to his faction at the very best. Or it could be used to try to specially drop a certain loot. Other than that, it was not very useful. However, his 100% drop rate had developed this ordinary white silver tier lord talent to a level close to a diamond tier lord talent. It had to be said that his legendary tier lord talent was quite useful and compatible with everything. Jojo looked at the 570 people and wondered if he should attack the Sandman Lord. Now, the total number of soldiers under his command has reached 1,678. Coupled with Nazario, which had already advanced to the white silver tier elementary grade. If they took the initiative to attack, it was very likely that they could defeat the regional Scarlet Lord faction. At that time, he would be able to deal with the enemy suspected to be a human lord. Then he could officially control the entire Blazing Sun Desert. This was naturally very tempting to Lord Jojo. However, he entertained the thought for only a moment and then temporarily suppressed it. I have to fortify my forces. If we act so rashly now, there will probably be relatively large casualties even if we win. When the number of soldiers breaks through to 2,000, my military strength will be twice that of the monster subjects under the Sandman Lord. Adding my white silver tier elementary grade Nazario, I should be able to take down them with the least casualties at that time. After thinking it through, he asked the 570 soldiers to help Elder Zhao build a house while he returned to the Lord's wooden house. Linger sent a message saying that the medicinal herbs had been nurtured. Thus, Jojo used 350 Sword Shield Soldier class change certificates to trade for 800 sets of life potion materials, 800 sets of energy potion materials, 800 sets of golden corpse water potion materials, 800 sets of blood eye potion materials, and 300 sets of antidote raw materials. After the transaction, Linger even said that she had already begun to use the divine herb garden to nurture the medicinal herbs needed for the blood cleansing pill. However, it would take 2 days to cultivate the medicinal herbs needed for the blood cleansing pill since most of them were green bronze tier medicinal herbs. Jojo could tell at this moment that she was specially nurturing the medicinal herbs he wanted. But he didn't mind. If she could really satisfy his medicinal herbs needs, he wouldn't have to buy them from the exchange every day. That would save him the trouble. Moreover, she had such a strong lord talent. He also wanted to help her grow as much as possible. This way, he could repay her in the future. Jojo could not help but ask how many refugees had arrived at her place today to become her subjects. Linger happily said that 53 refugees had come. Jojo had mixed feelings. This Linger, She could add dozens of subjects every day just by accepting refugees from local forces and summoning subjects from the gate of summoning. As expected, the Lord talent could not decide everything. It would only give the Lord a good starting point. Luck, opportunities. They are all factors to determine the strength of a Lord. Lords who did not have Lord talents might still be able to rise to become powerful Lords in the end. She sent a message. Spiritual medicine Lord, Big Brother Blazing Sun, do you have a tailor? Lord of the Blazing Sun, yes, why? Spiritual medicine Lord, can I ask the tailor in Big Brother's territory to help me mend a teddy bear? The clothes on Linger's teddy bear are a little tattered. Spiritual medicine Lord, Linger can pay you. I won't let that tailor work for nothing. Jojo could not help but laugh. It is such a small matter. She is still a child indeed. Lord of the Blazing Sun, give it to me. There's no need for the remuneration. It's just a teddy bear. It's nothing. Spiritual medicine Lord, thank you Big Brother Blazing Sun. She then sent a transaction request. After Jojo agreed, a slightly tattered brown teddy bear appeared in his hand. Jojo took a look and realized that the fabric on its chest was torn. He went straight to the tailor shop to look for Baoshiur. At the tailor shop, the fabric on this bear has become a little brittle over time. In addition, it has been held very often so it's damaged. It's easy to mend. But it's better to change the fabric. Baoshiur said. Jojo asked for Linger's opinion. He asked Baoshiur to change the fabric after receiving confirmation. It took half an hour before Baoshiur handed the brand new teddy bear to Jojo. After he returned it to Linger, she seemed to be very happy. Spiritual medicine Lord, wow, that tailor has such deft hands. The teddy looks exactly the same as when Mom and Dad gave it to Linger. Spiritual medicine Lord, this little bear is the only thing I still have from my parents when I came to this world. It's also my most precious treasure. I feel that my parents are still by my side with it. Spiritual medicine Lord, I'll bring the little bear to look for Mom and Dad when Linger becomes a very powerful Lord in the future. Jojo was stunned when he saw this. So this teddy meant so much to her. He silently retracted his words that she was still a child. Lord of the Blazing Sun, you will definitely find your parents. Is that teddy bear the Lord's child? Baoshiur asked curiously. It's not. Baoshiur's smile became even brighter. How does it feel here? Jojo asked casually. It's pretty good. There are a lot of tools and fabrics. It'll be much easier to make clothes in the future. Baoshiur replied. This was the magical thing about blueprint buildings. The corresponding tools would automatically appear inside as long as it was completed. The tailor shop was one of such buildings. The medical center, blacksmith shop, carpenter shop, and other buildings were also the same. When the building upgrades in the future, the tools inside would also be upgraded and increased. There would even be some special building effects. A building built without blueprints would be like an empty house. He would have to buy all kinds of tools and buy them himself. There would not even be any construction effects. This was the difference between self-built buildings and blueprint buildings. If only my teacher was here. She's gonna love this place. I wonder how his teacher is doing now. Baoshiur missed her teacher. Suddenly, she looked at Jojo and hesitated for a moment before saying, if we go to Fish Springtown in the future, can I bring my teacher here too? Teacher is a white platinum tier elementary grade tailor. She's much better than me. As soon as she finished speaking, a mission interface appeared in front of Jojo. Your subject, Baoshiur, has issued you a request mission. Mission name, Master and Disciple Reunion. Mission quality, White Platinum Tier Elementary Grade, Obscure. Mission description, Baoshiur has missed her teacher for a long time and wants to reunite with her teacher. It's said that her teacher, Zhongli, is in Fish Spring Town. Why don't you take a look when you have time? Mission reward: a white platinum tier elementary grade tailor becomes a subject of the territory. Bao Xiuer's loyalty to increase to the level of a dead loyal subject. 100 white platinum tier mist cores. Hidden mission activation requirement: 1 Bao Xiuer's loyalty level is above 92. Bao Xiuer owns her own tailor shop. 3 The entrustee of the mission is a trustworthy person in Bao Xiuer's heart. There are even missions in the High Continent. Chapter 44. Collecting Aurora Crystals. Human Lord. It's a hidden mission. In other words, were there ordinary missions too? Moreover, the rewards for this white platinum tier elementary grade hidden mission were rich enough. Jojo was a little envious. Fish Spring Town. That name sounds familiar. He suddenly reacted. He remembered seeing this Fish Spring Town in Wu-Tu's skill list. He had also drawn a regional map of Fish Spring Town. Wu-Tu might know where the Fish Spring Town is. I can ask him when he comes back. Jojo was not idle. He began to try to obtain missions from his other subjects after knowing the existence of the mission. In the end, he only received an ordinary mission after busying himself for the entire morning. Everyone needed his help in some way, but they could not trigger an official mission. The only other ordinary mission was obtained from Zhao Changshao and Elder Zhao. Mission name: collect Aurora Crystals. Mission quality: green bronze tier advanced grade, normal. Mission description: Zhao Changshao found out about the predicament in 2 days and suggested to you to build a green bronze tier elementary grade Aurora Tower. Gather 10 units of Aurora Crystals and build the first kingdom level building in the first layer of the Blazing Sun. Mission reward: 1 green bronze tier advanced grade Aurora Tower, 50 green bronze tier mist cores, and Zhao Changshao's loyalty will increase to 90 points. Jojo looked at this ordinary mission thoughtfully. It was still the Aurora Crystal. Actually, he had been trying to collect Aurora Crystals in the exchange for a long time. However, this material was really rare. After so long, he had yet to receive a single unit of Aurora Crystal. However, not all was lost. A lord took the initiative to look for Jojo through the exchange and proposed to trade 20 units of black iron tier elementary grade desert fog lizard meat for information on the Aurora Crystal. After Jojo agreed, he learned the source of the Aurora Crystal from the other party. It turned out that these Aurora Crystals were not natural ores like iron ore, copper ore, and mithril ore. It was born in the body of the Aurora race. It was an important energy core equivalent to the mist core. Only people of the Aurora race at the green bronze tier and above could give birth to Aurora crystals after death. Therefore, in the Aurora Kingdom, Aurora crystals were an important resource that the upper echelons of the kingdom regarded as a strategic resource. Commoners were explicitly forbidden from trading them. Therefore, there were very few Aurora crystals that could be circulated. This was also why Jojo had never been able to obtain Aurora crystals. Whether it's collecting Aurora crystals or completing Bao Xiuer's hidden mission, both require me to make a trip to the Aurora Kingdom myself. However, this was a little risky. He had to be prepared before he could go. Linger sent a message. Spiritual Medicine Lord, Big Brother Blazing Sun, the World Channel seems to be discussing you. It seems that a lord has been captured by your subordinates and is crying for help on the World Channel. Then, he immediately opened the World Channel. The World Channel was filled with discussions about him and the captured lord. This lord was called Lord Mighty. He said that he and the soldiers had gone out to look for monsters, but they were captured alive by a group of soldiers riding strange alchemy birds. When he read the information of this group of soldiers, he realized that these soldiers were the soldiers of the famous Lord of the Blazing Sunday. This Lord Mighty was crazily begging the other lords to think of a way to get him out of this dangerous situation. The other lords also expressed their opinions. I suggest that you surrender directly, give up your status as a lord, and take the initiative to become a subject of Big Boss Blazing Sun. This way, he might let you live on account that we are of the same race. Actually, to be honest, since the two of you are connected by geography, the two of you will fight sooner or later unless neither of you wants to expand your territory. There's no luck in the battle for the Overlord. I thought Big Boss Blazing Sun had the same non-human combat power as the Dragon Lady. I didn't expect him to be developing alchemy technology. Can alchemy technology allow the human race to be so fierce? I didn't expect Big Boss Blazing Sun to rise to power with human soldiers. I'm a fan of Big Boss Blazing Sun just based on this alone. We're all from the Cerulean planet. Why must we fight? What does Lord of the Blazing Sun mean by capturing Lord Mighty? Is he going to kill his fellow countrymen? Maybe. I think the Lord of the Blazing Sun is a person who will do anything to develop his own power. Just look at his profiteering behavior previously. Lord Mighty is probably going to suffer. If the Lord of the Blazing Sun really does this, I'll blacklist him for the rest of my life. Why do I meet such saintly B****s everywhere? Lord Mighty, but I don't want to die. I don't want to lose my status as a lord either. I've never done anything bad. Why do I encounter such a thing? Tisk tisk, I've long since stopped wanting to be a lord who could lose his head at any time. If I were you, I would directly give up my status as a lord and cozy up to the Lord of the Blazing Sun. I think so too. It's too dangerous to be a lord. It might as well be a subject of a powerful lord. It seemed that Bai Yi and the others had really captured that human lord. Moreover, it was really a lord of their cerulean planet. Jojo pondered after reading it. He had long expected the opinions expressed by these lords. Therefore, he did not let Bai Yi and the others kill them directly. Instead, he chose to capture them. He did not expect that it actually caused a commotion among the lords of the cerulean planet. Jojo did not panic. With his current strength, he was not afraid at all unless hundreds of lords jointly attacked him. But we still have to prepare early. Half an hour later, Bai Yi and the others were back with 8 soldiers who were taken prisoner, but they stood outside the novice lord's protective barrier and protected them for the time being. That was because the captives could not be brought through the novice lord's protective barrier. After Jojo found out, he first turned on the World Channel's recording function before going out to see them. "My lord, I didn't disappoint you," Bai Yi said respectfully. Jojo praised. Then, his gaze swept across the 8 captives and quickly found Lord Mighty. This Lord Mighty was about 20 years old. He looked ordinary and was wearing archery equipment. However, his bows and arrows had already been taken away. At this moment, he was looking at Jojo in silence, a look of unwillingness flashing across the depths of his eyes. The mission panel information appeared in front of him. Lord title, Mighty Lord. Territory, World City. Ability overview, a human lord from the cerulean planet who was lucky enough to obtain an archer class change certificate and became an archer. He yearns for the legendary position of the Overlord. Skill, Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade Archery. Loots, 4 Black Iron Tier Mist Cores, drop rate, 100%, 1 Gradeless Archer Class Change Certificate, drop rate, 0.1%, 6 Black Iron Tier Lord Talent Crystal Fragments, drop rate, 0%. Originally, his idea was that he could spare his life if his attitude was good and was willing to become his subject. But now, he saw that he yearned for the legendary position of the Overlord in his ability overview. Coupled with what he said on the World Channel, he suddenly realized something. This person would probably not be so willing to give up his status as a lord and become his subject. Jojo thought for a moment and quickly had an idea. Chapter 45. Lord Mighty's True Colors. Personally killed. Big Boss Blazing Sunday. We're from the same cerulean planet after all. Can you let me go? I promise I won't come over and provoke you for the rest of my life. Zheng Huiba, who was Lord Mighty, endured the humiliation and said, "Our territories are in the blazing sun desert. We will collide sooner or later if we continue to develop like this. At that time, there will be a battle. How can I let you go?" Jojo said calmly. "I can give up my territory, my status as a lord, and become your subject. Is that okay?" When Zheng Huiba heard Jojo's words, he immediately panicked and said hurriedly. Jojo looked at him deeply. "Not everyone can join my territory. You can join my territory if you want, but I have to see if your nature is good or bad before I can judge if you can join my territory or not. How about this? Take us to your territory. Call the people in your territory out and let me ask them how you did in your territory. If you satisfy me, I can let you join my territory and be protected by me. If your performance is average, or even poor, then you're on your own," he said calmly. His territory did not need bad seeds. Jojo did not mind letting him off if the other party was really a good person. He also wanted to see how a lord turned into an adventurer. This panic flashed across Zheng Huiba's eyes, but he gritted his teeth and nodded in the end. Outside World City, Jojo looked at the few ordinary buildings in the Novice Lord's protective barrier and asked Zheng Huiba to call for help. Zheng Huiba wanted to run back to his territory immediately, but his gut feeling told him that if he dared to run, he would definitely die faster than he could run. He could only stand 40 to 50 meters outside the Novice Lord's protective barrier and shout for all his subjects to come out. The 18 subjects walked out of World City and looked fearfully at the people on the Mechanostridor and their previous lord, Lord Mighty. They were thin and weak, their faces pale, and their lips trembling. They looked malnourished. "I've captured your lord who wants to become a subject of my blazing sun city. But not everyone can be my subject. Now, tell me, what does your Lord Mighty usually do? What good deeds has he done? What bad deeds has he committed? These will determine whether he becomes my subject or my prisoner. Don't lie. I have a way to be sure if you're telling the truth. If you dare to lie, know that I won't show mercy." Jojo glared at these subjects. But the fierceness in his eyes faded a little when he glanced at a timid 6 or 7-year-old girl. "Yeah, tell him about it, about how I usually treat you. I'm usually very good to you, right?" Lord Mighty looked at the 18 subjects and smiled. Towards the end, a ferocious glint suddenly appeared in his eyes, but disappeared in an instant. However, the 18 subjects who saw the scene still trembled slightly. "Sir, our lord is usually very good to us." A middle-aged man stood up and said fawningly. "Sir, our lord has done no bad deeds. He's very beloved by us." A woman also stood up. "Sir, please let our lord become your subject." "That's right, sir." At that time, more than 10 subjects stood up and said. Zheng Huiba heaved a sigh of relief when he saw this. Jojo, who was behind him, looked at these people calmly. Then, he suddenly noticed an old man in the corner. He hugged his grandson tightly and looked at the scene with a bitter expression. His grandson also looked at the scene in confusion. "Old man, come and tell me about it," Jojo suddenly said to the old man. The old man was stunned. Then, he trembled and walked out. He looked at everyone before looking at Lord Mighty. "Our lord is very good." The old man lowered his head. "Good in what way?" Jojo asked. The old man opened his mouth and was stunned for a moment. "He's a bad guy. He's a big bad guy." His grandson beside the old man suddenly pointed at Lord Mighty with red eyes and shouted. "He took my elder sister away. And she never came back. The same happened to 2 other girls. They were all taken away by this bad guy and a few soldiers. And then they never came back. Grandpa said that they will never come back." The child shouted with red eyes. "The child is insensible. He's spouting nonsense. Big boss Blazing Sun, don't listen to his nonsense. Zheng Huiba explained with a pale face. The old man beside his grandson suddenly knelt on the ground and wailed weakly. The other subjects looked at him with complicated expressions. You're saying he's spouting nonsense? Then I'll check. Jojo looked at him coldly. His eyes suddenly lit up. Lord Mighty stood rooted to the ground in confusion. Let me ask you. Is what the child said true? How are the three girls now? Jojo asked coldly. What he said is true. We've already killed those three girls. Zheng Huiba said in a daze. With that, the faces of the 7 soldiers pressed down behind Jojo suddenly turned pale. I'll kill you. The old man ran towards Zheng Huiba in a craze and punched and kicked him. Jojo got someone to pull him away when he ran out of strength. Then, he asked, who else did these evil deeds with you? Zheng Huiba raised his hand and pointed at the 7 soldiers behind Jojo. When the 7 soldiers saw this, they immediately knelt down with pale faces. My lord, please spare our lives. We are willing to serve the Lord until we die. My lord. Don't kill me. I can help my lord kill the fog monsters. I'm very valuable. The 7 of them knelt and begged for mercy. These be asterisk stards. Kill them. As soon as he finished speaking, the 7 sword shield soldiers raised their swords and slashed down, turning these 7 people into headless corpses. At this moment, Zheng Huiba had already been removed from the mental manipulation and woke up. He panicked when he saw this. You can't kill me. I'm a cerulean planet lord and your fellow countryman. Aren't you afraid that the lords of the world channel will poke your backbone if you kill me for these natives of the high continent? Are you worthy? Zheng Huiba immediately turned around and ran in the direction of the novice lord's protective barrier, seeing the situation sour. The light of hope in his eyes became brighter and brighter seeing that he was getting closer and closer to the novice protective barrier. Zheng Huiba suddenly froze on the spot. Then, he lowered his head and looked at the arrowhead that had pierced through his chest in disbelief. The wisp of black poison luster was especially eye-catching on the crossbow. Zheng Huiba fell to the ground weakly. Not far behind him, Jojo put away the black scorpion poison crossbow calmly. You have killed a cerulean planet's human race, Lord Mighty. Promotion energy +2. Loots condensed. World City has become ownerless. The novice lord's protective barrier has disappeared. You can plunder or occupy this territory. The lords who were paying attention to this matter on the World Channel suddenly realized that the name of Lord Mighty in their friend list had suddenly dimmed. After discovering this, the lords on the World Channel immediately exploded. Chapter 46. The Fourth Lord Talent. World City. The surrounding atmosphere seemed to have quietened down. These subjects of World City did not seem to expect their lord to die so easily in front of them. They were immediately delighted. Good riddance to bad rubbish. This nightmare is finally over. I finally don't have to endure his bullying in the future. Great. A few World City subjects looked at Zheng Huiba's corpse with expressions of satisfaction. However, there were also a portion of World City subjects who looked at Jojo nervously. They were the people who had just put in a good word for Zheng Huiba. They were afraid that this ferocious lord would turn around and deal with them now that Zheng Huiba was dead. Then, they saw Jojo look at them. Let's just let bygones be bygones. Join Blazing Sun City and become my subject. I can let bygones be bygones. He understood that these people were probably bullied and coerced, so they said those heartless words. They were all pitiful people. Jojo naturally would not punish them. We are willing to join Blazing Sun City and become your most loyal subjects. They knelt down and said in fear. The old man also pulled his grandson to his knees. A line of text appeared in front of Jojo. 18 refugees request to join your territory and become your subjects. Do you agree? After Jojo agreed, he let them get up first before checking their personal information. 12 of the 18 subjects were ordinary people. Among the remaining 6 people, there was a Black Iron Tier elementary grade doctor, 3 Black Iron Tier elementary grade blacksmiths, a Black Iron Tier intermediate grade chef, and a Black Iron Tier advanced grade architect. Jojo was very satisfied after reading them. They were all talents that his territory needed. Now that he had more subjects under his command, his need for lifestyle professionals increased. These 6 lifestyle professionals could slightly resolve his urgent needs. Even though there were not many people. But it was better than nothing. And he realized something else. That was, these people were especially loyal to him. Most of them were above 70 points. Especially the old man and the child. Their loyalty to him was 95 points and 98 points. Jojo roughly understood why their loyalty was so high. Therefore, he did not say much. After that, he dripped a drop of golden corpse water on Lord Mighty's corpse and asked Bai Yi and the others to bring it back to the territory later. He was still recording, therefore, he could not extract the loot from Lord Mighty's body for the time being. Then, Jojo led everyone into World City. Bai Yi and the others quickly found the resource storage point of World City being led by these subjects. They obtained a total of 500 units of wood, 400 units of stone, 200 units of metal, and 350 units of fine sand. There were also 22 Black Iron Tier mist cores. There were also more than 20 units of Black Iron Tier elementary grade black-tailed fog scorpion meat. The loots were pitifully small. It was far inferior to the gains he had obtained in the territory of the Scarlet Lord. Jojo had expected this. How could a human lord's territory that had only developed for 5 days compare to the Scarlet Lord that had developed for an unknown period of time? I know that the person who just died built a residence as his harem. The 3 girls they tortured to death should be inside. A wretched-looking young man walked over and said respectfully. Jojo took a look. He realized that he was the only Black Iron Tier advanced grade architect here. The other party seemed to have seen through the meaning in Jojo's eyes and immediately knelt on the ground in fear. My lord, please spare me. Even though I'm the architect who built the residences. But I really didn't know they would use it in this way. If I knew they would use it this way, I wouldn't have built it for him even if I died. Jojo shook his head. I told you. The past is in the past. And the other subjects didn't accuse you of anything bad. I'm sure you had to build it for them because you had no choice. My lord is wise. The Black Iron Tier advanced grade architect was stunned for a moment before he was so touched that he cried. Then, he asked him to bring him to the so-called harem. After arriving, Jojo realized that this place was actually locked. Fortunately, the subject had a key. After opening the door, the stench of rotting corpses assaulted Jojo's face, almost suffocating him. He suppressed the stench of corpses and looked inside. In the end, he saw the corpses of 3 women who were already filled with maggots. This tragic scene stunned Jojo on the spot. He only came back to his senses after some time. He got Bai Yi to come over to arrange for someone to clean up the 3 corpses and bury them properly. He would tell the grandfather and grandson after the burial. Bai Yi received the order and left. After that, Jojo brought 5 sword-shield soldiers to the Lord's wooden house. After carefully searching this place and discovering that there was no loot, he placed his gaze on the Black Iron Tier intermediate grade territory stone tablet. He got the 5 sword-shield soldiers to start slashing at this territory stone tablet. The territory tablet was shattered. A Black Iron Tier intermediate grade territory token appeared in front of him. Jojo placed his hand on it. Receive the territory token. Yes. The Black Iron Tier advanced grade territory token immediately fell into his hands. It's the 3rd Black Iron Tier territory token. I can upgrade my territory when I get back. He looked at the territory token and smiled. Jojo had a faint premonition. His territory would probably change greatly from Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade to Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade. After confirming that there was no other loot to take away from this territory, Jojo led everyone back to Blazing Sun City. Not long after they set off, Jojo saw the little boy jogging to his side, ignoring his grandfather's objection. He looked up at Jojo, his eyes flickering with an unprecedented light. "Big brother, are you a hero? My grandfather said that heroes are existences that stand up to save people when they are in the most danger, afraid, and in need of help. Big brother, you must be a hero, right?" he asked expectantly. Ever since his sister disappeared, his grandfather and him had been living in darkness. At this moment, in their hearts, the new lord who had saved his grandfather and him was the hero in his grandfather's stories. Jojo shook his head and laughed. "I'm not. I don't believe you." The boy shook his head. "I'm just an ordinary person who wants to work hard to live and protect those subjects who entrusted their future to me," Jojo said. The boy blinked. Blazing Sun City. Jojo asked the kitchen to prepare food and let these new subjects fill their stomachs after returning. He could tell that these people had been hungry for a long time. Then, he returned to the Lord's wooden house and first extracted the loot from Zheng Huiba's corpse. The loots were not of much value, except for the most important 6 Black Iron Tier Lord Talent Crystal fragments. Jojo took out the 6 new Black Iron Tier Lord Talent Crystal fragments and the 8 Black Iron Tier Lord Talent Crystal fragments he had obtained from the black-tailed fog scorpion leader previously. He put them all together. A hazy black iron light appeared. A line of golden words also appeared. 10 Black Iron Tier Lord Talent Crystal fragments are discovered. Do you want to fuse them into a Black Iron Tier Lord Talent Origin Divine Crystal? Jojo was filled with anticipation. A black iron light flashed. A thumb-sized hexagonal black iron crystal appeared in front of him. It was surrounded by a black iron light belt that was like a ring of stars. It looked quite magical. Beside him were the remaining 4 Black Iron Tier Lord Talent Crystal fragments. Jojo picked up the hexagonal black iron crystal. Treasure name, Lord Talent Origin Divine Crystal. Treasure grade, Black Iron Tier. Treasure effect 1, after absorbing it, the Lord will randomly awaken a Black Iron Tier Lord Talent. Treasure effect 2, Talent Advancement, since this Lord's Talent Origin Divine Crystal is Black Iron Tier grade, it can't advance the other Lord Talents. Treasure description, a law treasure condensed from the Supreme Will. You will obtain a random Black Iron Tier Lord Talent after using it. Do you want to absorb it? This Lord Talent Origin Divine Crystal immediately turned into countless black iron light spots and quickly entered into his glabella. He subconsciously closed his eyes. Jojo opened his eyes. The Black Iron Tier Lord Talent Origin Divine Crystal in his hand had completely disappeared. Jojo's face lit up. This was because he vaguely felt that he had grasped an extraordinary ability. He immediately opened the Lord's personal information. His Lord Talent column had already been updated again. Lord Talent, 100% drop rate, Legendary Tier, Gnome Alchemy Workshop, Green Bronze Tier, Monster Ranch, White Silver Tier, Insight Defection, Black Iron Tier. Insight Defection. Jojo studied this Lord Talent. Chapter 47. Lord Talent, Insight Defection. Prepare to upgrade the territory. Jojo opened the details of this Lord Talent curiously. Lord Talent, Insight Defection, Black Iron Tier. Insight Defection, a Lord's exclusive talent. When you fight the enemy Lord head-on, you can activate the Insight Defection talent to turn 2% of the enemy Lord's forces into your loyal subordinates. Lord Talent Hint 1. The lowest limit of the number of enemies defecting is 1 unit of enemy, and the highest is 10,000 units of enemy. The loyalty of the enemy after defection is at least 80 points. Lord Talent Hint 2, Yellow gold tier advance grade is the current upper limit of the force you can instigate to defect. This upper limit can grow. Lord Talent Hint 3, this talent can only be activated once a day. There was actually such a skill. In addition, this was the first time he had seen so many Lord Talent notifications. Then, Jojo quickly thought of the first party he would use it on. Regional Scarlet Lord faction Sandman Lord. As Jojo's current greatest enemy, it would be a pity not to use this Insight Defection ability on it. However, Jojo opened the World Channel to see what the Lords were talking about before that. He estimated that many Lords would probably know about the death of Lord Mighty by now. When he opened the World Channel, the main content of the Lord's conversation was about the Lord of the Blazing Sun killing Lord Mighty. I've long seen through it. This Lord of the Blazing Sun is someone who does things without any bottom line for his own development. He can even casually kill his fellow Cerulean planet lords. What would he not dare to do? From now on, I will hate the Lord of the Blazing Sun for the rest of my life. It's a pity that Lord Mighty died so suddenly. He was a pretty good lord. I've always felt that the Lord of the Blazing Sun wasn't a good person, but now it's just as I thought. Lord Mighty's desire to live was very strong. He should have already told the Lord of the Blazing Sun that he was willing to become his subject, but even so, the Lord of the Blazing Sun still killed him. I really didn't expect him to be so ruthless. Is this what it means to compete for supremacy? This is the first time I've felt its cruelty. Another day that I don't want to be a lord. Everyone, be careful of Lord of the Blazing Sun. If he can kill Lord Mighty today, he can kill us tomorrow. The Lord of the Blazing Sun is too strong. If he continues to develop, he will definitely become a huge threat to us in the future. I suggest that we join forces to repel the Lord of the Blazing Sun. As soon as the matter arose, all kinds of devils are coming out. Jojo's eyes became colder and colder as he watched the Lord's conversation on the World Channel. He was not angry. He had just silently added the Lords who spoke ill of him to his transaction blacklist. From now on, they would not have the right to buy the transactions he announced. Then, he opened the video he had recorded previously. He reviewed the video again after using some mosaics to block some more sensitive content. After confirming that the content of this video would not expose some important information about him, he set it up as a transaction and sent it to the exchange, allowing all the Lords to download it for free. This transaction was naturally open to all the Lords on the blacklist. Soon, with his own fame and the popularity of this matter, the free transaction he posted quickly ranked first in the number of transaction views. The Lords who watched the entire video were immediately in an uproar. F***ck. So this is how Lord Mighty died. Good riddance. Good punishment. I'm dying of laughter. Is this the good Lord you all were talking about? Where are the people who said that Big Boss Blazing Sun has no bottom line? Stand up. Is this what you mean by having no bottom line? I'm really sick of it. There are keyboard warriors who don't know anything everywhere. They criticize others so easily. Isn't this a slap in the face? It was too cheap a way for this person to die. The Lord of the Blazing Sun was too soft on him. He actually gave him the easiest way to die. Is this Big Brother Blazing Sun's voice? It's cold and domineering. Sisters, I love it so much. I love it too. That child is right. Big Boss Blazing Sun is clearly a hero. The Lord's arguments flip-flopped once the video was out. The people who had said that the Lord of the Blazing Sun was in the wrong all fell silent. They thought that they would be able to escape if they did not comment anymore. However, what they did not know yet was that Jojo had already put them on his blacklist. They would realize sooner or later that they could no longer buy the goods sold by the Lord of the Blazing Sunday. At the same time, the other Lords on the World Channel also began to whip their corpses. They also advocated the Lord of the Blazing Sun's righteousness. Jojo saw all of this, but there was no fluctuation in his heart. It seemed that there were some things that would not change even if it was in a different world. The territory of the Dragon Lady Lord. In front of the Wyvern's nest. The Dragon Lady Lord looked at the reversal on the World Channel with surprise. She had originally thought that the Lord of the Blazing Sun would leave a bad impression on the Cerulean Planet Lords because he had not handled this matter well. This way, she might be able to surpass him and become the most famous Cerulean Planet Lord. She did not expect that his video would make billions of Cerulean Planet Lords have a good impression of him. A reputation crisis actually turned into an opportunity in his hands. Good move. She admired but was jealous at the same time. But it had to be said that she felt very good seeing the Lord of the Blazing Sun deal with that scumbag, Lord Mighty, from a woman's perspective. She hesitated for a moment before she tried to add Lord of the Blazing Sun as a friend. Many lords took the initiative to add her as a friend knowing that she possessed an epic tier lord talent. That gave her a lot of connections ever since she became famous. However, this was the first time she had taken the initiative to add someone as a friend. She was inexplicably expectant. A notification appeared in front of her. The other party cannot be added as a friend. Dragon Lady Lord. In an undead cemetery. 1 green bronze tier elementary grade undead knight, 5 black iron tier advanced grade zombie elites, 50 black iron tier intermediate grade ghosts, and 100 black iron tier elementary grade skeleton soldiers lingered. In the middle of them was a coffin. Zhang Han, who was in the coffin, also saw what happened on the World Channel. I thought I'd see a good show. What a killjoy. Zhang Han's expression was cold, like a real corpse. As the Lord of the Blazing Sun became increasingly famous, he, who had originally treated him as prey, began to fear him. I need to be stronger. My soldiers. Go destroy a Scarlet Lord's territory. If it doesn't work the first time, then go again. A faint voice sounded. Roar, X-156. All the undead creatures wandered towards the Scarlet Lord's castle in the distance accompanied by a terrifying and shrill roar. Jojo saw that the matter with Lord Mighty had calmed down. He did not do anything else and closed the World Channel. It's time to upgrade the territory. Jojo suppressed the urge to try the new Lord talent and walked out of the Lord's wooden house. Then, he looked at the building in front of him. With a thought. Do you want to upgrade the Lord's wooden house? A golden light covered the entire Lord's wooden house. The long-awaited upgrade had begun. Chapter 48. Channel Announcement. The unique title of the race. The golden light that covered the Lord's wooden house dissipated. Jojo looked over. Not only was the Lord's wooden house much larger and more exquisite than before, there was also a small courtyard surrounded by stone walls. Congratulations, your Lord's wooden house has been upgraded to a green bronze tier elementary grade building. It has been upgraded to a Lord's courtyard. There is an additional courtyard. Your territory has been upgraded to a green bronze tier elementary grade territory. Territory token durability increased to 20,000/20,000. Your territory has expanded to 5,000 m times 5,000 m times 3,000 m. All fog monsters within the territory of the new territory have been expelled. You have received an upgrade reward, Wall Blueprint, green bronze tier elementary grade. Lord Talent hint, the upper limit of the enemy lord's forces that you can instigate to defect has been increased to white platinum tier elementary grade. Lord Talent hint, your monster ranch can be upgraded. Before Jojo could react, 3 rows of familiar golden text suddenly appeared in front of him. Cerulean Planet World Channel Announcement, congratulations to the Lord of the Blazing Sun, becoming the first Cerulean Planet Lord to upgrade his territory to green bronze tier elementary grade. Reward, Supreme Treasure Chest +1, Reputation Rating +1, Unique Title of the Race, Glory of the Pioneer I. It's been broadcasted on the entire channel as a Lord announcement. He had a faint feeling previously that there might be a huge change when his territory advanced from Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade to Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade. It has come true now. Moreover, it was a Lord announcement for the entire channel. This time, not only did he obtain a higher reputation rating and a supreme treasure chest. Moreover, he had obtained a unique title of race. He had never seen this before. Jojo searched for a while. He found the title in the Lord's personal information. Lord title, Lord of the Blazing Sun, Glory of the Pioneer Eye. Title, The Glory of the Pioneer Eye. Title quality, Unique title of the race. Title effect 1, You are famous among the Cerulean planet lords. More people admire your reputation and yearn to join your territory. Number of subjects you can summon through the gate of summoning every day plus 100%. Professional talents of the same level as the territory among the subjects summoned plus 2. Title effect 2, the suffix of your unique title of the race will be added behind your title of Lord when you comment in any channel. You can turn it off or activate it. Title effect 3, when you become the first Cerulean planet Lord to possess a white silver tier elementary grade territory, this title will be upgraded to Glory of the Pioneer 2 and unlock more title effects. Title description, exclusive title given to the pioneers in the Lords of all races by the Supreme Will. There is a higher chance that the pioneer of every race will have extraordinary achievements. Jojo looked at its title effects in surprise. The last two were still alright. However, title effect 1 was what Jojo's current territory needed. His territory was not lacking in soldiers at the moment. What he lacked was subjects without professions. This was because unemployed subjects could be changed into sword shield soldiers and poison crossbow soldiers by his large number of sword shield soldier class change certificates and poison crossbow soldier class change certificates. They could also be arranged to be Elder Zhao's subordinates and kitchen staff. In short, there would definitely be no idlers. Moreover, there would be 2 professional talents of the same level as the territory among the subjects summoned every day. This meant that he would be able to summon 2 green bronze tier elementary grade professional talents from tomorrow onwards since his territory level was now green bronze tier elementary grade. In the future, when his territory level increased to the mythical tier, he would be able to add 2 mythical tier talents to the territory every day. This growth rate was simply ridiculous. As for title effect 2, Jojo looked at its introduction and thought for a moment before opening the World Channel. At this moment, the World Channel was discussing Jojo's announcement. Good Lord, how ridiculous. This is the 3rd time, right? I feel like Big Boss Blazing Sun owns the reputation ranking. Be confident and get rid of your feelings. Big Boss Blazing Sun will always be a god. I want to see Big Boss Blazing Sun open the supreme treasure chest. Plus 1. It is probably a golden shovel crown. This way, it can give Big Boss Blazing Sun one more person in his army. Thunder a face. It is easy to know one's fate as a heaven-defying man. It has the same pronunciation from the idiom it is easy to know one's fate but difficult to change it. Lord of the Blazing Sun, Glory of the Pioneer Eye. Huh? What did I see? F***ck. The Lord of the Blazing Sun himself. Hug his thigh and transform into his leg hair. Big Brother Blazing Sun. I love you. Is this the unique title of the race? It is really a legend, isn't it too dazzling? This title is so beautiful. I'm jealous. Boo-hoo, I want the unique title of the race too. I really didn't expect Big Boss Blazing Sun's first comment to appear like this. Brothers, I have a bold idea. Originally, he only wanted to test how this unique title of the race would appear on the World Channel. He did not expect to see such heaven-defying comments as soon as he opened the World Channel. He shook his head. His gaze landed on his unique title of the race. The words Glory of the Pioneer Eye were in gold and looked very noble. It looked very eye-catching even among the countless lords' comments in the World Channel. The more Jojo looked at it, the more satisfied he became. He was even happier than when he found out about its title effect. Strength was temporary while being handsome was for life. This title will advance in the future. I wonder what it will be like after it advances. Then, he looked at the wall blueprint he obtained as an upgrade reward. Construction blueprint name, wall. Blueprint grade, green bronze tier elementary grade. Blueprint effect, beginner building blueprint. You can master the construction method of a green bronze tier elementary grade building wall after the blueprint is learned by an architect. You can build a defensive building wall to protect the territory. Construction materials, every cubic meter of wall requires 1 unit of wood, 1 unit of fine sand, 1 unit of metal, 1 unit of stone. Prompt, the wall is a special type of elementary building. It can be moved freely without dismantling, making it easier for the territory to expand. Jojo's eyes lit up when he saw this blueprint. There was a high chance that the novice lord's protective barrier would disappear after 2 days. This wall blueprint could replace the novice lord's protective barrier to protect his territory. This wall blueprint came at the right time. I was right to work hard to upgrade my territory. Jojo was even happier about his choice. As for the other lords, they could only rely on building their own wall to resist the attack of the fog monsters unless they had an architect who had mastered the wall construction skill if they did not upgrade to a green bronze tier elementary grade territory. When the time comes, it would definitely be harder for them to defend against the fog monsters' attacks than it was for him. Thinking of this, Jojo first put away the wall blueprint and planned to look for Zhao Changshao later to discuss the construction of the wall. As for now, his gaze landed on the supreme treasure chest in front of him. Chapter 49. The Time Ruins Key. Upgrade the Gate of Summoning. Jojo opened the supreme treasure chest. There was a green bronze key quietly placed inside. An item information notification appeared. Treasure name, Time Ruins Key. Treasure effect, use the Time Ruins Key in an open space in the territory. You can activate a green bronze tier historical battle, the Time Ruins of the Defense of Indra. Treasure description, the source of the Time Ruins is unknown. When living beings participate in the Time Ruins and complete the time missions within, they can obtain the gift of time. Note, this Time Ruins is an equipment producing ruin. There is a high chance of producing conventional equipment, black iron tier, green bronze tier, and a small chance of producing the high-level soldier recruitment book, elemental archer recruitment book. There is a very small chance of producing a hero inheritance secret manual. This Time Ruins mystic realm looked interesting. Especially the hero inheritance secret manual. That should be the most precious treasure in the entire Time Ruins from the probability of producing it. I wonder what kind of treasure would that be? Jojo thought curiously. An empty area in the Blazing Sun City. This place was relatively far from the residential area of Blazing Sun City, and there were no buildings around. It was considered to be an undeveloped piece of land. Jojo stood there and looked at the Time Ruins key in his hand. A line of golden text appeared. Do you want to use the Time Ruins key to open the door to the Time Ruins? The green bronze key in his hand suddenly disintegrated into countless green bronze light spots, forming a green bronze door 5 meters tall and 2 meters wide in front of him. Jojo looked at it in surprise. A message from the door appeared. Time Ruins name, the Defense of Indra. Grade, green bronze tier. Time Ruins description, on September 16, year 10,505 of the Supreme Calendar, nearly 1,000 scarlet monsters launched a surprise attack on Indra Town, a town at the border of the Elven Empire. 13 Elven elemental archers guarding Indra Town caused huge casualties to the enemy. Nonetheless, this battle ended with the town falling. Countless Elven Empire higher UPS lamented at the sacrifice of these 13 Elven elemental archers. Note 1, This time ruins will automatically reset once a day for a new opportunity to enter. Note 2, you can only bring a maximum of 100 subjects into this time ruins. Note 3, you won't really die if you die in the time ruins, but you will fall into a weak state for 24 hours. We'll go in and take a look when Jonkang and the others return tonight. Jojo immediately thought after reading it. In any case, they wouldn't really die, so it wouldn't matter even if they failed. He would bring the white silver tier elementary grade Nazario in if all else failed. Jojo did not believe that a white silver tier elementary grade pure-blooded dragon could not even deal with a green bronze tier time relic. Then, he returned to the Lord's courtyard to check the next level upgrade content. Construction upgrade, 5,000 units of wood, 5,000 units of fine sand, 5,000 units of metal, 5,000 units of stone, 100 green bronze tier mist cores, 1 origin crystal, 1 green bronze tier territory token. This time, he needed a lot more materials to upgrade. 20,000 units for basic materials alone, and also the need for 1 origin crystal. It wasn't that bad since he had these 2 items. However, he could not satisfy the need for the 100 green bronze tier mist cores and 1 green bronze tier territory token for the time being. I would still need to hunt down more Scarlet Lords to obtain 100 green bronze tier mist cores and 1 green bronze tier territory token, Jojo thought to himself. Probably very few human lords would possess the green bronze tier mist cores and green bronze tier territory tokens at this stage. Only Scarlet Lords who had developed in the High Continent for an unknown period of time could provide him with these advancement materials. Jojo was not in a hurry to upgrade the Gate of Summoning. Instead, he entered the Lord's courtyard first. The ground in the huge Lord's courtyard was flat, and a green brick path led from the door to the courtyard. We can grow some fruits and vegetables in this courtyard. Or some nice flowers and plants. Jojo looked at the courtyard in front of him with a very satisfied expression. Then, he left the Lord's courtyard and went to the Gate of Summoning. He said, "Congratulations, your Gate of Summoning has been upgraded to a green bronze tier elementary grade building. You can summon plus 10 subjects every day. You will definitely summon 3 professionals every day." Prompt, under the influence of the race's unique title, Glory of the Pioneer Eye, the number of subjects you can summon every day has increased to 44. You will definitely summon 5 professionals every day. And the professional levels of 2 of them will be the same as your territory level. Not bad. I can summon 44 subjects a day now. And there will be at least 5 professionals. This was a huge upgrade. Then, he looked at the upgrade requirements to upgrade the Gate of Summoning to green bronze tier intermediate grade. Construction upgrade, 2,000 units of wood, 2,000 units of fine sand, 2,000 units of metal, 2,000 units of stone, 50 green bronze tier mist cores for the territory level to be upgraded to green bronze tier intermediate grade. He still lacked the green bronze tier mist cores. Even a regional Scarlet Lord would probably not be able to satisfy him with the requirement of so many green bronze tier mist cores. He had to find more sources of green bronze tier mist cores. He quickly thought of a source. His monster ranch. Now that my territory has been upgraded, the monster ranch should be able to nurture green bronze tier fog monsters, right? Thinking of this, Jojo immediately went to look for Zhao Changshao, who was building a warehouse then. Seeing Jojo arrive, he asked the soldiers to continue working while he quickly walked up to Jojo. "Elder Zhao, I want to build the wall tomorrow. In addition, I plan to build a 3rd monster ranch before tonight and upgrade all 3 monster ranches to green bronze tier elementary grade. Can you do that? Time is a little tight. I need to transfer all the people in the territory right now to help to complete it." Elder Zhao frowned and thought for a while before saying, "No problem." Jojo readily agreed. Then, he took out the black iron tier building material, sand crystal, for Elder Zhao to see. Elder Zhao's eyes lit up when he saw the sand crystal. Sand crystal. Elder Zhao, you really know your stuff. Jojo smiled. I naturally recognize such practical building materials. In the past, many high-level buildings built under my auspices would be mixed with sand crystal to increase defense, resistance to earthquakes and enhance the habitability of the buildings. However, sand crystals originate from the desert and are scarce in production. In addition, many Scarlet Lords are rampant in the desert, and there are fewer and fewer adventurers who dare to explore the desert. Over the years, sand crystals have become rarer and rarer in the market. I didn't expect the Lord to have it here. Zhao Changshao clicked his tongue in wonder. Our territory won't be lacking in sand crystals. Jojo smiled. He had already planned to open a monster ranch to nurture sandmen tonight. This monster ranch would be equivalent to a sand crystal mine that could produce endless sand crystals. This way the sand crystals could be added to strengthen all the buildings in addition to the wall. It could be said that the sand crystal already occupied a rather important position in his territory development plan. Chapter 50. Mugu's massive upgrade. Using insight defection. Jojo and Zhao Changshao immediately went to the monster ranch to look for Mugu. Can we build a green bronze tier elementary grade monster ranch now? Jojo asked with a smile when he saw Mugu. Sure. Not only can I build a green bronze tier elementary grade monster ranch now. My ability has also been upgraded. I'm already a green bronze tier elementary grade monster rancher and monster shepherd. I can manage up to 4 green bronze tier elementary grade monster ranches at the same time. Moreover, the upper limit of the number of monsters I can nurture per monster ranch has increased from 500 to 750. Mugu said respectfully. Jojo was delighted. He immediately opened his attribute panel. Profession class, green bronze tier elementary grade. Ability overview. The monster rancher of the monster ranch is also a monster shepherd who is good at fighting fog monsters. He is proficient in communication, taming, and controlling fog monsters. There is a chance to upgrade a normal fog monster to an elite fog monster or even a leader fog monster. Skills, special building, monster ranch, fog monster, communication, green bronze tier elementary grade, fog monster, taming, green bronze tier elementary grade, fog monster, control, green bronze tier elementary grade, fog monster, berserk, green bronze tier elementary grade, fog monster, appease, green bronze tier elementary grade. Not only had the monster rancher and monster shepherd profession levels increased to green bronze tier elementary grade. Many of the skills he had were also upgraded to green bronze tier elementary grade. It seemed that Mugu was probably the one with the greatest gains in the entire territory other than him. Not bad. A smile appeared on his face. The monster ranch was his territory's daily fixed income. This fixed income had increased again. He was naturally very happy. Then, Jojo handed his last origin crystal to Mugu. Even though upgrading his territory also required origin crystals. The most important matter now was to build a wall with sand crystals embedded in it. Therefore, it was better to use the origin crystals to build the monster ranch first. In any case, the regional Scarlet Lords would definitely drop origin crystals. He would use the origin crystals dropped by the regional Scarlet Lords to upgrade his territory after taking them down in the future. The rest of the matter would need both of your hard work. Jojo looked at Mugu and Zhao Changshao. It's our duty to serve my lord. Zhao Changshao said. Mugu also nodded seriously. Jojo acknowledged. He did not stay any longer and returned to the territory. Then, he realized that he seemed to have nothing to do. Jojo wandered aimlessly in the territory for a while before arriving at the Gnome Alchemy Workshop. Greetings, my lord, X5. Ashburn and his 4 apprentices, who were refining the life potion, immediately said respectfully when they saw Jojo. You guys go ahead. I'll chat with your teacher. The four apprentices looked at Ashburn respectfully and enviously before focusing on their work. Jojo also opened the personal information of the four apprentices and realized that they had already become Black Iron Tier elementary grade alchemy technicians. You're good at. All four of your students have actually become alchemy technicians. I didn't know you were so good at teaching. He was a little surprised. They're working hard too. Ashburn laughed. You should be more relaxed recently with these apprentices around, right? Jojo asked. In the past few days, other than the contribution of a small portion of the products produced by the Gnome Alchemy Workshop to Jojo as his private property, most of the remaining products would be recorded first and handed to Bai Yi and the others to be distributed according to the soldiers' contributions and needs. Therefore, Jojo gradually stopped interfering in matters here. And since Ashburn was dead loyal to him, he was not worried that this gnome would line his own pocket. It's much easier, but I don't dare to be lazy either. I've been studying the refining method of the Black Iron Tier intermediate grade life potion recently. It is showing some results now. I might be able to advance to a green bronze tier elementary grade alchemy technician if it works out. Ashburn said. Don't you need green bronze tier elementary grade alchemy potion formula or blueprints for alchemy technology products? Jojo raised his eyebrows. Advancement methods for ordinary lifestyle professionals would include advancing through researching and mastering higher-level professional abilities. This was the first time he had heard of Ashburn's advancement method. Thanks to my lord, I've already mastered 5 alchemy test methods. Even if I am not of the green bronze tier elementary grade, I will be able to learn and master them because I've accumulated enough. I can also advance by creating my own Black Iron Tier intermediate grade life potion. Ashburn said. He naturally hoped that Ashburn could advance. His soldiers were getting stronger and stronger. The Black Iron Tier elementary grade life potions and 2 doctors were no longer enough to satisfy the treatment needs of all the soldiers. If Ashburn could develop a Black Iron Tier intermediate grade life potion, it would naturally be a good thing for his soldiers. After that, Jojo chatted with Ashburn for a while before walking out of the Gnome Alchemy Workshop. It's a little boring. Jojo sighed. The fact that a lord could rely on soldiers to kill monsters to level up was very satisfying. It was just that sometimes, he would have nothing to do. He thought for a while and suddenly had a bold idea. Jojo came to an empty space to the east of Blazing Sun City. A lava dragon more than 6 meters tall was lying there sunbathing. In front of it was a thick stack of roasted meat and a large vat of water. It was Nazario. Due to its size, Jojo's room could no longer be used by Nazario. Therefore, he temporarily arranged for it to stay here. Do you want to go out and play? Jojo looked at Nazario and tempted him. Nazario suddenly raised its dragon head, and its pure red dragon eyes immediately revealed an excited expression. 15 minutes later. In the skies more than 100 meters away. Jojo grabbed the lava armor on Nazario's back tightly, looking as excited as his dragon. He was flying. He might be flying in the sky with the help of his pet. But it also allowed him to experience the feeling of flying. Jojo looked at the ground with a focused gaze. A crudely built pyramid stood in the desert. Teams of sandmen were patrolling the pyramid in an organized manner. There were about 700 to 800 of them in total. It was the territory of the regional Scarlet Lord Sandman Lord. We're here. Just circle over their pyramid. Don't descend. And don't let them hurt either of us. Jojo said. Nazario growled. Then, it began to circle above the pyramid. The Sandman subjects below quickly discovered Nazario and Jojo. They roared and tried to attack Jojo in their own ways. For example, using guns, spears, bows, and other weapons. However, no matter how they attacked, they could not hurt Nazario and Jojo, who were more than 100 meters above the ground. When Jojo saw this, the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. He knew from Bai Yi that these sandmen could not fly. That allowed him to be bold enough to ride Nazario to their territory and be arrogant. However, he was not just here to be arrogant. The main reason was because he wanted to use the Lord talent he had just obtained to incite defection. This talent could only be activated once a day, and it could not accumulate. It would be a waste if he did not use it. Jojo naturally would allow such shameful wastage. Pull their grudge, Jojo said in a low voice. Nazario roared excitedly, and Dragonmite instantly erupted. It also opened its mouth. The surging hot magma dragon breath spewed out of its mouth. It descended from the sky and stood at the very top of the pyramid. Then, at a speed visible to the naked eye, the magma dragon breath quickly melted more than half of the pyramid. In the pyramid, some sandmen in gorgeous clothes raised their heads and looked at Jojo and Nazario through the hole above them. Jojo laughed loudly. Then, he stretched out his right hand and aimed his palm at them. Lord Talent, incite defection. Activate. An invisible fluctuation instantly covered the entire territory of Lord Sandman below. Some Sandmen's bodies stiffened. Then, their eyes immediately became irritable and bloodthirsty. They turned around and killed their Sandmen companions beside them. The eyes of the other Sandmen were dark and unfathomable, as if they had their own consciousness. However, they did not act rashly. Instead, they quietly disappeared among the Sandmen, waiting for their true master's orders. I seem to be able to control these Sandmen I instigated through mind guidance. And they can deliver some simple orders. Jojo discovered another hidden ability of his talent. It had to be said that this ability was quite practical. Moreover, it would probably unleash an unexpected and shocking effect when used at a specific time. Then, he looked at the notification that had just appeared. Prompt: you have activated your Lord's exclusive talent, Incite Defection. Incite Defection has taken effect. Lord Talent Hint: a total of 14 Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade, 5 Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade, 2 Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade, 1 Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade, and 1 Green Bronze Tier Intermediate Grade Sandmen have betrayed their Lord's faction and become your loyal subordinates. I think I can mass-produce traitors, Jojo said with a strange expression. Chapter 51. The Monster Ranch is built. Found the Fish Spring Town. Jojo looked at the Lord Talent notification in front of him and smiled. He had thought that it would be good enough if he could instigate some Black Iron Tier Sandman monsters to defect this time. He did not expect it to be able to instigate a Green Bronze Tier Sandman leader. As for his orders, it was to let the Black Iron Tier Sandman carry out a suicide attack within themselves. He would exhaust as many of them as he could. As for the 2 Green Bronze Tier Sandman leaders under his control, Jojo ordered them not to expose themselves first. Their status was not ordinary. He could let the 2 of them play ruthlessly within the enemy when he led the main force to attack tomorrow. Jojo did not stay any longer. He got Nazario to bring him back to Blazing Sun City. On the way back, Jojo had more ideas about this Incite Defection talent. This should be the correct way to activate this talent. If I encounter a difficult enemy, I should come over every day and instigate them to rebel. I might be able to turn all of the other party's forces into spies in the end by accumulating them in this way. In the end, there would only be one enemy leader left. Jojo thought mischievously. Night fell. The scarlet fog gradually appeared in the world. Jojo, who was feeding Nazario the Black Iron Tier mist cores, suddenly saw Zhao Changshao walking over from afar. My lord. We didn't let the lord down. The 3rd Monster Ranch has been built and all 3 Monster Ranches have been upgraded to Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade. Zhao Changshao came in front of Jojo and said respectfully. The 2 of them arrived at the Monster Ranch. 3 Monster Ranches were 150% their previous sizes. Moreover, not only did it cover a larger area, its architectural style was also a little more ancient. Mugu was already waiting for Jojo here. He immediately walked over when he saw his lord coming. Reporting to my lord. All 3 monster ranches have been built and upgraded. A total of 28,000 units of basic materials, 1,000 black iron tier mist cores, and 1 origin crystal has been consumed. Mugu said respectfully. He now had nearly 280,000 units of basic materials. In terms of the black iron tier mist core, he had obtained more than 3,000 of them this morning by clearing the monster ranches. This consumption was naturally nothing. We can start harvesting sand crystals tomorrow. Make sure every cubic meter of the wall is mixed with a bit of the sand crystal when you build it tomorrow. Jojo said. Yes, my lord. Zhao Changshao said respectfully. Wu Tu's 30 reconnaissance team members and more than 900 soldiers led by Zhongkang also returned. We've already cleared out all the scattered monsters in the blazing sun desert. Zhongkang said excitedly. Well done. I'll remember your contribution. Jojo acknowledged. Zhongkang's eyes lit up. As the team of soldiers continued to expand, Jojo had already established the military officer positions among them. They could exchange for food, equipment, potions, mechanostriders, positions, and many other benefits in the territory through military merits. It was not perfect yet and some military merits systems were still relatively crude, but it could already mobilize the enthusiasm of the soldiers. Therefore, Jojo's words were not a lie. After that, Jojo and Zhongkang went to retrieve the loot. All the loots had been extracted. Today, they had cleared a total of 624 scattered monsters. Among them, there were 156 desert fog lizards, 389 black-tailed fog scorpions, and 79 sandmen. He obtained a total of 1,947 black iron tier mist cores. 16,540 units of flesh, black iron tier elementary, intermediate, and advanced grade. 427 kilograms water bag. 389 portions of the black-tailed fog scorpion's poison sac. Black iron tier elementary, intermediate, and advanced grade. 389 bottles of antidotes. Black iron tier elementary, intermediate, and advanced grade. 168 sword shield soldier class change certificates. 68 sword shield soldier recruitment books. 414 poison crossbowman class change certificates. 137 poison crossbowman recruitment books. 12 black iron tier advanced grade sand stealth techniques. 25 black scorpion poison crossbows of black iron tier advanced grade. 25 black iron tier advanced grade antidote formulas. 145 kilograms of sand crystal. 79 sandification and sandman summoning skill books. In addition, there were 4 black iron tier advanced grade sandification and 4 black iron tier advanced grade sand summoning. Skill name, sandification. Skill description, sandify a part of the body for 5 seconds. Immune to black iron tier physical damage and some green bronze tier physical damage. After 5 seconds, the sandified part of the body will return to its original state. Skill name, summon elite sandmen. Skill description, summoning type skill. Controls the sand element and condenses 4 elite black iron tier advanced grade sandmen who will obey your orders completely and have simple intelligence to fight for you. Jojo chose to learn it immediately. This black iron tier advanced grade skill was much stronger than the original black iron tier elementary grade skill. Will the green bronze tier sandman leader drop green bronze tier sandman and sandman summoning skills then? Jojo thought. Then, he stopped thinking about it. He would find out soon enough. He took out the map of the blazing sun desert. At this moment, the paths on the map had already changed. Area map name, Blazing Sun Desert Map, current exploration rate, 82%. From 59% to 82%. It should reach 100% as long as we get rid of the last Sandman Lord. Jojo thought. even though there would not be any rewards if he reached 100%. But this was like seeing the complete jigsaw pattern after the last piece was put in place. Anyone would feel a sense of accomplishment. After that, Jojo went to the Gate of Summoning and used the recruitment books he had just obtained to recruit 68 sword shield soldiers and 137 poison crossbow soldiers. The number of soldiers under his command had reached 1,883. He handed these recruits to Bai Yi and told her about the time ruins. He asked them to rest for an hour after dinner before bringing 95 of the strongest soldiers with her to the time ruins. Jojo returned to the Lord's courtyard. As soon as he returned, he saw Wu Tu waiting for him at the door. "Come in with me," Jojo said. Then, he opened the courtyard door and walked the brick path into the house. Wu Tu followed behind. Jojo asked about their results today after he asked Wu Tu to sit down. "My lord, we patrolled the exterior of the entire Blazing Sun Desert today and learned the general distribution." After Wu Tu finished speaking, he took out a yellowish-brown papyrus map. It was also a regional map of the Blazing Sun Desert. However, it was different from the map he had given Jojo last night. 3 other areas with general outlines appeared around this map of the Blazing Sun Desert. They were the Desolate Gobi, a black iron tier area in the north; the Thorn Dune, a black iron tier area in the east; as well as the Fish Spring Town, a green bronze tier area in the southwest. Jojo's gaze landed on the map of Fish Spring Town. He could not help but raise his eyebrows. It turned out that Fish Spring Town was beside the Blazing Sun Desert all along. It did not take much effort to get to it. Chapter 52. Entering the Time Ruins. Time Mission. Wu Tu, were you also a subject of the Aurora Kingdom before you came to me? Jojo thought for a moment and suddenly asked. Wu Tu was stunned. Then, he immediately stood up in panic. "My lord, I was previously a subject of the Aurora Kingdom. However, after joining the Lord, I'm already a subject of Blazing Sun City, be it physically or psychologically. My lord, please believe in my loyalty." Sit down, sit down. "I didn't mean that." "I believe you." Jojo looked at his flustered expression and immediately knew that the child had misunderstood. He reassured him, caught between laughter and tears. Wu Tu's loyalty was almost at 90 points. He naturally did not doubt Wu Tu's loyalty. He just suddenly thought of something. He had thought that the principle of the Gate of Summoning its subjects was to randomly summon humans to him on the High Continent. However, an increasing number of his subjects were from the Aurora Kingdom, making Jojo gradually feel that his thoughts might be wrong. The Gate of Summoning probably did not randomly summon its subjects from the High Continent. Instead, he summoned his subjects according to proximity. Even talents that came because of the reputation rating were the same. Since his territory was close to the Aurora Kingdom, therefore, be it the subjects summoned by the Gate of Summoning or the talents attracted by the reputation rating, most of them came from the Aurora Kingdom. In that case, the map of Wu Tu's Fish Spring Town, Bao Xiuer's Master-Disciple Reunion Mission, and the location of Fish Spring Town near the Blazing Sun Desert were not accidents. They were just a coincidence with a higher chance. Wu Tu heaved a sigh of relief when he heard Jojo's words. "Do you have a map of Fish Spring Town on you now?" Jojo asked. "Yes. But I drew it in the past. There might be some deviations now. If you need it, I'll go to Fish Spring Town and redraw the map there tomorrow. It won't take long. One morning would be enough." As Wu Tu spoke, he took out a map and handed it to Jojo. Jojo took it and looked at it. Regional map name, Fish Spring Town map, current exploration rate, 2%. Map quality, green bronze tier. Total area, 1011 square kilometers. Map description, this map depicts the general terrain of Fish Spring Town and the related map information. It includes the area, geographical scale, terrain distribution, the range and location of the town, the commercial street, the residential area, the military camp area, the range of scattered monsters, the range and location of the Scarlet Lord's territory. As expected of a green bronze tier area. The total area alone was twice the size of the Blazing Sun Desert. Do you know the tailor, Zhongli? She should be in Fish Spring Town. He looked at Wu Tu and asked after roughly reading the content of the map. Zhongli. That was Bao Xiuer's teacher. She was also the target of the White Platinum Tier Elementary Grade Hidden Mission, Master and Disciple Reunion. Zhongli. I think I've heard of her. I remember now. There's a new wind tailor shop in Fish Spring Town. It's very famous in the town. In the past, when I went to Fish Spring Town to draw a map, I heard many residents say that the owner of New Wind Tailor Shop has very deft hands. I think her name is Zhongli. Wu Tu replied. Jojo's heart thumped. New Wind Tailor Shop. That sounds right. There is an 80% chance that it is Zhongli. Bring people and focus on sorting out the new area map of Fish Spring Town tomorrow. Also, investigate Zhongli. Pay attention to your investigation method. Don't offend her. Jojo reminded him. Yes, my lord. Wu Tu said seriously. Jojo acknowledged. Then, he let him go back. In front of the time ruins. Jojo, Nazario, Baiyi, Zhongkang, 8 green bronze tier elementary grade soldiers, 62 black iron tier advanced grade soldiers, 25 black iron tier intermediate grade soldiers, and 2 doctors stood there. This was the strongest deployment of the top 100 people in Blazing Sun City. Some of the soldiers were soldiers who had just broken through today. After we go in. Everyone, be on guard immediately. When you encounter danger, don't worry and counterattack. Protect the doctors. Jojo ordered. Yes, X-99. Then, he led everyone and Nazario to the entrance of the time ruins. When they were 2 to 3 meters away from the entrance of the time ruins, a suction force came from inside the door. Even though everyone was a little surprised, they did not resist and were sucked in. Nazario was at the rear and studied the door in front of it curiously. Then, it took a step forward and its 6-meter-tall dragon body was sucked in too. Jojo endured the dizziness and opened his eyes. It was a city ruin covered in smoke and flames as far as his eyes could see. The sound of flames burning, trees exploding, and faint monsters' roars. All kinds of voices came from all directions. Jojo frowned slightly and began to observe his surroundings. He was surrounded by his soldiers. At this moment, their eyes were still closed and they had yet to wake up from the dizziness of time travel. Jojo seemed to have understood something. It was probably because he had an elementary grade mental potential talent and his mental strength was stronger that he could wake up so quickly. At this moment, they were on the roof of a 4-story building. This building was quite unique. It is made entirely of vines and trees. But at this moment, it was also charred by the explosion of the flames. The quality of this building is not bad. Looks like it's been burning for a while but it hasn't collapsed yet. Jojo clicked his tongue in wonder. Nazario appeared in front of him out of thin air. It stepped on the fragile house under its feet and stared at Jojo. Nazario. Rumble. The building could no longer withstand the weight and began to collapse with a rumble. The moment it collapsed, Nazario bit Jojo's clothes and flew into the air. Jojo also reacted quickly. He aimed his palm at the ground where everyone had fallen. The energy in his body suddenly surged and boiled. Invisible energy quickly gathered on the ground. The hard brick ground in a radius of 300 to 400 square meters instantly turned into yellow sand and formed a huge quicksand pit. Green bronze tier elementary grade spell, sand trap technique. Bang, 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 bang. The 99 soldiers fell to the ground like dumplings. Fortunately, No one was injured because the ground had already become a quicksand pit. Not only that, they also woke up one after another. They did not waste a single moment. First, they were vigilant of their surroundings. After confirming that there was no danger around, they immediately jumped out of the quicksand pit and began to take sides. In midair, Jojo's face was a little pale. The large-scale sand trap technique just now instantly drained 60% of his energy. However, Jojo had nothing to regret. If he hadn't done that, he might have lost his people at the onset. They would not actually die, but this was not what Jojo wanted to see. Then, he asked Nazario to put him down. After stepping on the ground, he immediately took out a bottle of black iron tier elementary grade energy potion and poured it into his mouth. After drinking it, his expression began to become normal at a speed visible to the naked eye, and the energy in his body began to recover quickly. "Thank you, my lord, for your help." Bai Yi quickly walked over and said. When she saw their states and the traces of the sand trap technique under their feet, she guessed what had just happened. Jojo nodded slightly. Howl! A wolf roar came from afar. Jojo and the others immediately looked over. A 3-meter-tall wolf monster wrapped in flames was standing on a tall building not far away and looking at them with its scarlet and cruel eyes. A mission interface also appeared in front of Jojo. Time negotiation has begun. Time mission announced. Time mission 1, eliminate the enemy. Mission description, eliminate all incoming fire demon fog wolves. Mission objective, 1 fire demon fog wolf, 0/1000, 2. Elite fire demon fog wolf, 0/300, 3. Fire demon fog wolf leader, 10. Gift of time, there is a 25% chance of dropping equipment of the corresponding level after killing any level of the fire demon fog wolf. There is a 0.1% chance of dropping an additional elemental archer recruitment book after killing black iron tier intermediate grade and black iron tier intermediate grade fire demon fog wolf. Time mission 2, protect friends. Mission description, protect the last 13 elven elemental archers in Indra town. Mission objective, survival of the 13 elven elemental archers, 13/13. Gift of time, every elven elemental archer you protect until the time ruins closes will allow you to recruit 1 elven elemental archer of the same level in reality. Note, time mission 1 needs to be completed. Time mission 3, hidden. Mission description, hidden. Mission objective, hidden. Gift of time, Hero Inheritance Secret Manual. Note, both time missions 1 and 2 need to be completed. Time ruins countdown 4 hours, 57 minutes, 35 seconds. Chapter 53. Fire Demon Fog Wolf Set. Set attributes. We have to deal with more than 1,000 Fire Demon Fog Wolves in 5 hours. Jojo's expression was calm. He was not worried. With a white silver tier elementary grade pure-blooded dragon like Nazario around, 5 hours were more than enough to deal with these monsters. The flame demon fog wolf not far away also quickly died under the arrows of the 3 poison crossbowmen. They ran over and brought its corpse to Jojo. Item name, corpse of the fire demon fog wolf. Item level, black iron tier elementary. Item description, a special life form in the time ruins. Its main body is a fog monster in the high continent. It was later replicated here by the power of time. Prompt, in the time ruins, the monster corpses can be preserved until the time ruins reset. Loots, 2 black iron tier mist cores, drop rate, 100%, 1 black iron tier elementary grade equipment fire demon fog wolf gloves, drop rate, 25%. This was a monster that specialized in dropping equipment. He covered the surface of his hand with a layer of energy and placed it on the burning corpse of the wolf, preparing to retrieve the loot. As for the notes on higher probabilities, lower probabilities, etc., it did not exist with him at all. the probability would become 100% even if its actual probability was 0%. Soon, Jojo extracted the loot and looked at the only equipment. Equipment name, Fire Demon Fog Wolf Gloves. Equipment effect 1, tenacity reduces physical damage by 30% from black iron tier weapons. Black iron tier weapons cannot pierce the wearer's body. Equipment effect 2, fire resistance reduces fire damage from external black iron tier elementary grade by 30%. Current set completeness, 1/6. You can activate the attributes of the black iron tier elementary grade set, the brutal blood of the fire demon fog wolf, after collecting the complete set, including the helmet, armor, belt, skirt armor, gauntlets, and boots. Introduction: don't kill because of tyranny. You should be tyrannical because of killing. This was the first time he had seen equipment with the attributes as a set. Actually, strictly speaking, the military equipment the soldiers wore could be considered a set. However, no set attribute had appeared in the equipment he had come into contact with so far. He didn't think too much about it and put away the loot first. Then, he told Bai Yi and the others about the time mission 1 and 2. So the priority now is finding the 13 elemental archers first. Bai Yi immediately said. With the Blood Eye and Nazario around, it was not difficult to find and kill these fire demon fog wolves. However, he would lose a chance to recruit elemental archers in reality if any of the 13 elemental archers suffered any casualties. That was not what Jojo wanted to see. Bai Yi nodded. Then, she got the soldiers to start applying Blood Eye to their eyes. Jojo applied it on himself too. After applying it, the soldiers each searched for a high place and checked where stronger blood energy or places where intense battles were happening in the entire town. A soldier discovered a place that seemed to be in the midst of an intense battle. After Jojo found out, he immediately looked over. About 2,000 meters to the southwest. More than a dozen blood chi of different sizes were running wildly in front, followed by more than 400 blood chi of at least the black iron tier intermediate grade. Prepare for rescue. Jojo ordered in a low voice. He would take a look first regardless of whether it was actually them or not. Everyone agreed. Little Nadia. Put me down. You guys go first, cough cough. Be good. Your talent is much better than ours. Come back and avenge us when you become stronger in the future. Don't die here for nothing. A beautiful elf with milky white skin, wearing green archer equipment, said weakly to the female elf carrying her. This female elf had a pure and beautiful face. She had a pair of sparkling eyes that were like green jade. She also had a relatively small build because she was younger. When she heard her teammates' words, she gritted her teeth, and at the same time, the arrows she shot at the elite flame demon fog wolf behind her became even stronger. Whoosh! 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 Green arrows shot out like lightning. Every arrow accurately hit an elite fire demon fog wolf. Emerald green vines quickly grew from the place they were shot before the elite flame demon fog wolf could stop. In less than 5 seconds, these flame demon fog wolf were covered in vines and died tragically on the ground. Among the 400-odd fire demon fog wolves were 3 green bronze tier elementary grade flame demon fog wolf leaders. They were also shot by Nadia's arrows. However, the raging flames on the surface of their bodies burned these plants to ashes before the vines in their bodies could grow. Nadia was helpless when she saw this scene. This group of fire demon fog wolves was too good at restraining them, the wood elves. The elven residents of Indra town would not be wiped out so quickly by these 1,000 fire demon fog wolves if they were elves of any other elements. The elf behind her gave her a gentle look. Then, she gently let go and jumped down from Nadia's body to pounce on the fire demon fog wolf behind her. Nadia, who was shooting, watched this scene with narrowed pupils. Her face quickly turned pale. The moment this elf pounced on the fire demon fog wolf, a shocking dragon roar resounded through the world. The terrifying dragon might also descend from the sky, shocking all the fire demon fog wolves and elves below to the point of being unable to move. Jojo jumped down from the dragon's back and caught the elf that pounced on the fire demon fog wolf. Tap, 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 tap. A large number of running footsteps came from all directions. Bai Yi and the others rushed over and began to kill these fire demon fog wolves that were stunned by the dragon might under Jojo's orders in no time. The sounds of crossbow bolts, sabers, and shields colliding were endless. The flame demon fog wolves were killed by Bai Yi and the others without any means of resistance. Nazario did not attack. Instead, it maintained the release of its dragon might in the air. Jojo looked at the scene thoughtfully. He could also use this cooperation when cleaning up the monster ranch every day in the future. It should be more efficient. At this moment, the 13 elves also regained their freedom because they were no longer suppressed by the dragon might. Are you reinforcements from the Empire? Nadia asked boldly. I'm just a human lord passing by. Jojo said. He took out a bottle of black iron tier elementary grade life potion and handed it to an injured elf. After she drank it and recovered from some injuries, she immediately stood up in embarrassment when she realized that she was still in someone else's arms. Human lord, the remaining elves looked at each other. They were still a little puzzled, but they did not ask further. Instead, they picked up their bows and arrows and shot them into these attacking fire demon fog wolves. Jojo also took this opportunity to count these elves. There were indeed 13 of them. He relaxed. They should be the targets of his mission. Fortunately, there were no casualties. A moment later, all the fire demon fog wolves were eliminated. Jojo then asked the soldiers to hunt the surrounding fire demon fog wolves with this location as the center and asked Nazario to follow. With Nazario around, Jojo was not worried that Bai Yi and the others would encounter any danger. He also began to extract the loots of these fire demon fog wolves. The first set of the fire demon fog wolf set was collected in no time. Set name, Fire Demon Fog Wolf Set. Set grade, Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade. Set attribute 1, Toughness reduces physical damage by 90% from Black Iron Tier weapons. Black Iron Tier weapons cannot pierce the wearer's body. Set attribute 2, Fire resistance ignores external Black Iron Tier intermediate grade fire damage. Set attribute 3, the brutal blood of the fire demon fog wolf activates the bloodline power in the set, causing the wearer to enter a brutal blood state for 10 minutes. In the brutal blood state, the wearer will fight crazily and kill all the enemies in front of him. At the same time, his defense will increase by 50%, strength will increase by 100%, pain will decrease by 80%, and fear will decrease by 80%. After 10 minutes, the wearer will enter an hour of weakness. Prompt: the percentage bonus will reach the maximum value when a Black Iron Tier elementary grade lifeform wears it. The stronger the wearer is, the lower the equipment bonus. Current set completeness, 6/6. Jojo was a little surprised after reading the attributes. Not only were the attributes of the set comparable to Black Iron Tier advanced grade military equipment, its effects were very practical for soldiers. He might be able to turn the tables if he used it when the situation was disadvantageous. A Black Iron Tier elementary grade set had such prowess. What about higher level ones? Thinking of this, Jojo immediately increased the speed at which he extracted the loots. Chapter 54. Elemental Archer Recruitment Book. Mission completed. Jojo extracted the loots of the 400-odd fire demon fog wolf monsters under the watchful gazes of the 13 elves. They looked at them with halos in their eyes, as if he was the son of the Supreme Will. The Black Iron Tier intermediate grade fire demon fog wolf would drop 4 Black Iron Tier mist cores and 1 Black Iron Tier intermediate grade elemental archer recruitment book. The Black Iron Tier advanced grade elite fire demon fog wolf would drop 8 Black Iron Tier mist cores and 1 Black Iron Tier advanced grade elemental archer recruitment book. The green bronze tier elementary grade flame demon fog wolf leader would drop 2 green bronze tier mist cores and 2 green bronze tier elementary grade elemental archer recruitment books. There were a total of 432 of these monsters. Among them were 184 black iron tier intermediate grade, 245 elite black iron tier advanced grade, and 3 green bronze tier elementary grade. He obtained a total of 2,726 black iron tier mist cores and 6 green bronze tier mist cores. 25 sets of black iron tier intermediate grade fire demon fog wolf set. 34 sets of black iron tier advanced grade flame demon fog wolf set. 78 duplicate sets. And last but not least, 251 elemental archer recruitment books. JoJo first looked at the black iron tier advanced grade flame demon fog wolf set. He realized that even though it was only a black iron tier advanced grade set, it could already withstand physical damage from the attack from someone of green bronze tier intermediate grade. Moreover, it could ignore fire damage from black iron tier advanced grade. Its set attributes had also increased greatly. Flame demon fog wolf's brutal blood activates the bloodline power in the set, causing the wearer to enter a brutal blood state for 25 minutes. Under the brutal blood state, the wearer will fight crazily and kill all the enemies in front of him. At the same time, his defense will increase by 150%, strength by 300%, pain -90%, fear -90%. After 25 minutes, the wearer will enter a weakened state for 25 minutes. Prompt: the percentage bonus will reach the maximum value when someone of black iron tier elementary grade wears it. The stronger the wearer is, the lower the equipment bonus. The attribute bonus has increased by 3 times. The duration and cooldown have also been greatly reduced. He could totally build an absolutely fearless army if these sets were worn by melee soldiers. When long-range soldiers wear it, they could also greatly increase their long-range lethality. Then, JoJo picked up the elemental archer recruitment book that had been dropped by the flame demon fog wolf leader. Item name: Elemental Archer Recruitment Book. Item level: Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade. Item effect: Advanced Grade Soldier Recruitment Book. Throw it into the Gate of Summoning and you can summon a Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade Archer with Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade potential to become your subject. Item description: a specialty from a certain time ruin. You can recruit a high-level archer of relatively good quality. We can treat this time ruins as another monster ranch. I'll let Nazario and the soldiers come in to grind for sets and the elemental archer recruitment books after it resets every day. JoJo thought. He then looked into the distance. At this moment, Bai Yi and the others were cleaning up the fire demon fog wolves in Indrid town with Nazario. The area they were clearing was gradually expanding. He believed that it would not be long before they cleaned up all the fire demon fog wolves in Indrid town. As for the 2 doctors he brought in, at this moment, they were healing the 13 elves. JoJo opened the mission interface and looked at the hidden mission at the bottom, seeing that the situation had stabilized. Hidden mission. Aren't there any more hints? Lord of the human race. A female voice came from the side. It was the female elf he had just saved with Nadia by her side. JoJo had seen her magical archery skills before, so he had a deep impression of her. When the female elf saw JoJo looking over, her milk-white face immediately blushed slightly. However, she still boldly bowed and said, "Thank you for your help, my lord. My name is Eve. How should I address you? My guardian team will remember your kindness forever. Moreover, we will ask the Empire for instructions to distribute some rewards to repay you and your subordinates for saving our Indra town. My title is Lord of the Blazing Sun. As for coming to help you, don't worry about it. We will always be comrades you can trust and rely on in the face of the invasion of the Scarlet Fog monsters. As for the reward, that's up to you." JoJo smiled. He was not looking forward to the so-called Empire reward. He could roughly guess from the name of the time ruins. The world they were in now was probably a mystic realm similar to a dungeon formed by replicating a certain period of time in the past. The elves in front of him had probably died sometime during the past. Jojo naturally did not expect them to contact the Elven Empire and even repay him for saving their lives. After hearing his words, Eve was stunned for a moment, then quickly said, "The tradition of our elf empire is that we can't be stingy with helping our friends and benefactors. Please accept our rewards." Her face was rather sacred and solemn. It was obvious that she valued this so-called empire tradition very much. Jojo was taken aback for a moment before nodding helplessly. He had yet to hear any mission notification about the so-called reward, so obviously, there would not be any actual reward. "Lord of the human race, what are your plans next?" Nadia asked curiously. "I'll clean up all the attacking fire demon fog wolves first. Then I'll protect you until you're completely out of danger. We should be out of here by then." Jojo replied. "Aren't you going to stay? Let us entertain you too." Eve could not help but ask. "We have things to do. Are there any other survivors here?" Jojo shook his head and asked again. "No one else. All elven subjects of Indra Town, except us, have perished." Eve and Nadia's eyes darkened. "It's all my fault. If only I had led the team out later to clear the fog monsters born around us, then we'll still be in the town when these fire demon fog wolves come. We would have been able to deal with these fire demon fog wolves with the residents." Nadia lowered her head as tears the size of beans fell. "How can you blame yourself? The timing we head out to clear the fog monsters every day is set by the Empire. We can't go whenever we want." Eve comforted her, but Nadia still couldn't stop crying. Jojo watched the scene calmly. Jojo, who was chatting with the elves, suddenly saw a notification appear in front of him. Prompt: Time Mission 1, elimination of the enemy has been completed. Prompt: Time Mission 2, protection of the ally has been completed. The gift of time has been distributed. The 13 elven elemental archers are ready in the gate of summoning in your territory. You can summon them at any time when you return to the High Continent. He thought about it carefully and understood. Perhaps it was because all the fire demon fog wolves had been dealt with by Bai Yi and the others that the time ruins judged that no more enemy could threaten the 13 elves, so it determined that he had completed the time mission too. This was a pleasant surprise. He had thought that he had to protect them until the last moment. This saved him a lot of trouble. He waited for some time before he saw Bai Yi and the others return with all the soldiers. They had found a water source from somewhere and had already extinguished the flames on the surface of the fire demon fog wolf's corpses, so they could bring them all back on carriages. "Where's Nazario?" Jojo asked when he saw that Nazario had not returned. "His Highness Nazario seems to have discovered something special. It flew away alone after helping us deal with all the fire demon fog wolves," Bai Yi said respectfully. Jojo was stunned, then he became curious. However, he did not think too much about it and began to retrieve the loot of these corpses. Jojo, who was extracting the 356th corpse, suddenly saw a line of kill notifications. "Your pet lava dragon, Nazario has killed the flame demon fog wolf lord, Scarlet Lord, Madman. Promotion energy plus 800. Loots condensed." Prompt: Time Mission 3, Counterattack, Hidden Mission, has been completed. The Hero Inheritance Secret Manual has been materialized in your spatial equipment. Jojo. He looked a little confused. His pet had completed the hidden mission when he still had no idea about it. Chapter 55. Hero Inheritance Secret Manual. Diamond Tier Scarlet Lord Talent Sphere. Jojo could not help but open the mission interface. He looked at Time Mission 3. Time Mission 3, Counterattack, completed. Mission description: launch the final counterattack and eliminate the Fire Demon Fog Wolf Lord, madman hiding in the dark to avenge the dead residents of Indra Town. Mission objective, Fire Demon Fog Wolf Lord, Madman, 1/1. Gift of Time, Hero Inheritance Secret Manual, issued. Prompt, this mission is a hidden mission. It is unique. After completing this mission, the relevant mission content and mission target will disappear from the time ruins. Jojo smacked his lips. The completion of this mission was really effortless. Then, he looked at it in his spatial ring for a while and quickly found the Gift of Time, the Secret Hero Inheritance Manual. It was a thick purple book. It depicted an elf burning in flames. Jojo took a look and he could not help but look at Nadia, who was beside Eve. Why does Nadia look exactly the same as this wood elf? Coincidence? He didn't think too much about it and looked at the book carefully. The treasure information appeared. Treasure name, Hero Inheritance Secret Manual. Grade, Epic Tier Advanced Grade. Treasure ability, after using it, you can obtain the Bloodfire Arrow Elf Nadia's Hero Inheritance. Introduction, feel endless fear in the rain of arrows filled with blood and fire. Bloodfire Arrow Elf Nadia. Novice Lord hint, heroes a higher level race that transcends the military. They have a higher level fate level recognized by the supreme will. They can even leave their own mark of fate in the river of time, allowing specific living beings to chase after the mark and revive. No hero can be replicated. There's no concrete trace of their birth, but most of them have either legends or complicated lives. It's not any easier for higher level races to give birth to heroes. Lower level races can also have many heroes. They're the true treasure of the race, enough to be sung by countless living beings and eras. Is a hero actually that powerful? Jojo was shocked. Then, he looked at Nadia again. Nadia felt Jojo's straightforward gaze and could not help but turn her head shyly. Jojo was also puzzled. That's not right. He still remembered how Nadia looked when she cried just now. She looked like a child who had yet to grow up. How could she become a hero like this? The only possibility of the other party becoming a hero was probably that the other party's aptitude and combat strength were relatively high. This was what he knew when he was chatting with these elves just now. It was also because of this that Nadia became the captain of Indra Town's guardian team at the youngest age in the team. He thought for a while but still could not understand. He decided not to think about it and began to think about another problem. Who would he give this Hero Inheritance Secret Manual to? Jojo immediately thought of Bai Yi. Bai Yi had followed him the longest and made the most contributions. She was also dead loyal to him. Moreover, she was an archer and a poisoned crossbowman. It could be said that she was the most suitable candidate to use this Hero Inheritance Secret Manual. But Jojo wanted to use it too. This was a treasure that could increase the level of his life form. Which lord wouldn't want to use it? Of course, Jojo himself would be tempted. Even though Jojo was a lord, he had heard of the theory that mighty power belonged to him. However, after hesitating for a long time, Jojo still decided to let Bai Yi use it. It was because of the same old reason. He was a lord and did not need to personally go on the battlefield. It would be a waste if he used this secret hero inheritance manual. The second reason was that this secret hero inheritance manual was only at the extraordinary tier advanced grade. If Jojo could, he would rather use a higher level hero inheritance secret manual. It would shortchange himself and limit his growth if he used this in a hurry now and he could not advance in the future. No plan for the future, no command for the present. Jojo also had to consider his future. After thinking this through, he put the secret hero inheritance manual back into his spatial ring. Then, he continued to extract the loot from these corpses. During this period, Nazario had also returned with the corpse of the fire demon Fog Wolf Lord. Jojo was not in a hurry and asked them to put the corpse aside. Then, he continued to extract the loot from the corpses of these fire demon Fog Wolves. More than an hour later, All the monster corpses had been extracted. There were 878 of them. Among them were 752 Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade, 64 Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade, 55 Elite Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade, and 7 Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade Leaders. He obtained a total of 2,200 Black Iron Tier Mist Cores and 14 Green Bronze Tier Mist Cores. 121 sets of Black Iron Tier Elementary Grade Fire Demon Fog Wolf sets. 10 sets of Black Iron Tier Intermediate Grade Fire Demon Fog Wolf sets. 9 sets of Black Iron Tier Advanced Grade Flame Demon Fog Wolf sets. 1 Green Bronze Tier Elementary Grade Fire Demon Fog Wolf set. 32 duplicate sets. And finally, 133 Elemental Archer Recruitment books. Jojo put them all into his spatial ring and prepared to use them when he returned to reality. Then, he went to the Flame Demon Fog Wolf's corpse and prepared to touch it. However, when he saw the drop rate of the loots in its corpse, he was instantly stunned. Item name, Flame Demon Fog Wolf Lord, Madman's Corpse. Item level, White Silver Tier Advanced Grade. Item description, a special life form in the Time Ruins. Its main body is a fog monster in the High Continent. It was later replicated here by the power of time. Loot's drop rate, 8 White Silver Tier Mist Cores, drop rate, 100%, 8 Origin Crystals, drop rate, 100%, 1 White Silver Tier Advanced Grade Fire Demon Wolf King Fury set, drop rate, 25%, 10 White Silver Tier Advanced Grade Elemental Archer Recruitment books, drop rate, 0.1%, 1 Diamond Tier Scarlet Lord Talent Sphere, drop rate, 0%. He thought that he had seen wrongly and blinked hard again. Then, he took another look. The message remained unchanged. He did not see wrongly. It was really a Diamond Tier Scarlet Lord Talent Sphere. After confirming, Jojo's body trembled with excitement. A Diamond Tier Lord Talent. It could not compare to his legendary Tier Lord Talent and was also inferior to the epic Tier Lord Talents of the Dragon Lady Lord and the Undead Lord. However, lords with Diamond Tier Lord Talents were good enough to be pursued and be called big shots by the billions of Cerulean planet lords. The talents he had always obtained were Black Iron Tier, Green Bronze Tier, and White Silver Tier. He did not expect that the first higher level Lord talent he obtained was not from the corpse of the Scarlet Lord in the main world, but from the Time Ruins. Jojo felt like he was in a dream. Compared to the Diamond Tier Lord talent, the fact that Nazario had killed a White Silver Tier Advanced Grade Scarlet Lord with his White Silver Tier Elementary Grade strength did not seem very eye-catching. Jojo quickly came back to his senses and began to retrieve the loot. Yes, he said immediately. Lord Talent hint, you have obtained the following loots: 8 Mist Cores, White Silver Tier, 8 Origin Crystals, 1 set of the Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury set, White Silver Tier Advanced Grade, 10 Elemental Archer Recruitment books, White Silver Tier Advanced Grade, 1 Scarlet Lord Talent Sphere, Diamond Tier. Chapter 56. Diamond Tier Lord Talent, Peace and Prosperity. All the loot dropped. There was naturally no need to mention anything further about the White Silver Tier Mist Cores, Origin Crystals, and the Elemental Archer Recruitment books. Jojo first looked at the Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury set. Set name, Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury set. Set grade, White Silver Tier Advanced Grade. Set attributes: 1, toughness reduces 90% of the physical damage of White Silver Tier weapons and some Yellow Gold Tier weapons to the wearer. Weapons below Yellow Gold Tier cannot be pierced into the wearer's body. Set attribute: 2, fire resistance ignores external fire damage from Gold Tier Elementary Grade attacks and below. Set feature: 3, Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury activates the bloodline power in the set, causing the wearer to enter the Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury state for 30 minutes. In the state of the Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury, the wearer will enter an extremely calm combat state. In the state of the Fire Demon Wolf King, your defense plus 300%, strength plus 300%, speed plus 300%, nerve reaction plus 300%, pain minus 100%, fear minus 100%. After the Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury state ends, it can be activated again after 30 minutes. Introduction: You've angered me. Not only would the set of Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury set increase his attributes greatly, it could also allow him to completely ignore fear and pain. Moreover, there were no side effects after using it. Another key point was that the cooldown was only for 30 minutes before he could enter the Fire Demon Wolf King's Fury state again. This attribute was 2 to 3 times better than the previous set attributes. The only regret JoJo had was that the usage requirement for the set was that the wearer had to be of White Silver tier advanced grade. No one in his territory could use it yet. He could only put it in his spatial ring for the time being and wait for a White Silver tier advanced grade expert to appear in his territory to use it. Then, JoJo looked at the last loot. The Diamond Scarlet Lord Talent Sphere. JoJo read its information. It wasn't a surprise that he would only be able to know what kind of Lord Talent was in this talent sphere by purifying it first. JoJo looked at Nadia and the other 12 elves behind him. He considered for a moment but did not start the purification in front of them. Even though neither party would recognize the other the next time they met, and they could be a whole new set of people, there would always be traces of everything one did. JoJo still felt that it was better to be careful. "We're leaving." He put away the loot and said to Nadia and the others. "Already?" The 13 wood elves were stunned. "We have important things to do." The wood elves looked at each other and could only accept this fact. JoJo did not waste any time. He muttered to himself to return. In the blink of an eye, JoJo, Nazario, and the 99 subjects he brought all disappeared. Only the shocked and confused wood elves were left at a loss. JoJo stood in a world of rainbow light and carefully sized up his surroundings. Nazario and the other soldiers were gone. He seemed to be the only one left in this huge world. "Where am I?" JoJo was surprised. An illusory scene appeared in front of him. In the ruins of Indra town that was burning in flames. He pounced straight at the pack of fire demon fog wolves chasing after them after pushing Nadia away. Then, she was quickly devoured by these fog monsters. The wood elves were extremely sad. However, they still had to continue escaping in order to survive. In the time that followed, Nadia and the others resisted the pursuers behind them as they fled. However, the elves still died one after another in front of Nadia. Their last words before death were mostly similar. "Little Nadia, live on. Captain, this is the last time I'll be able to call you that. You have to escape from here. Actually, even though you're the captain, we've always treated you as a little sister. Little sister, you have to live." All the wood elves let Nadia live. However, there were too many fire demon fog wolves. She was still surrounded in the end. At the last moment before the wolves pounced on her, extreme sorrow and hatred turned into scorching flames that burned her wood elf body. Her emerald green hair transformed into fiery red hair, and the blood tears at the corners of her eyes turned into scarlet flames. The flames were no longer opposing her. Instead it created Nadia's nirvana into a higher existence. A hero. To be precise, her hero title should be Nadia the Bloodfire Arrow Elf. The immaturity and innocence of a young girl no longer appeared on her face. There was only endless confusion and sadness. She looked at the fire demon fog wolves pouncing at her and her expression instantly turned cold. Her life force burned in her body, turning into the most dazzling light before death. She drew the bowstring. The bow was like a thunderbolt. Thousands of bloodfire spiritual arrows were instantly released from her arrowless bow. It was as if blood-red rain had fallen. In an instant, all the fire demon fog wolves died in the ruins of this town. Nadia has avenged you. She drew her last breath after this last whisper. The last scene of the illusory scene was that of the Elven Empire sending an envoy to investigate. In the end, they only saw the skeleton of an elf still drawing her bow in the middle of all the corpses. Reality. A seven-colored light suddenly lit up from the door of the time ruins. Jojo and the others had already stepped on the ground of Blazing Sun City again. At this moment, Jojo, who was the Lord, was still in a daze. The scene he had just seen was deeply engraved in his memory. The surrounding soldiers did not dare to move since their Lord did not give any orders. "Did you see anything just now?" Jojo asked Baiyi, who was beside him after he came back to his senses. No, Baiyi looked confused. Jojo asked the other soldiers and Nazario. They also expressed that they did not see anything and were directly teleported out. Jojo fell into deep thought. It seems like I am the only one who saw the true history. Is it because I'm the owner of this time ruins? He didn't think too much about it. Rest for an hour. In an hour, we'll enter the time ruins again, he said to the soldiers. There was still a reset of the time ruins today, so he naturally could not waste it. Moreover, he wanted to go in and take another look. Baiyi and the other soldiers said respectfully. Jojo nodded. He did not summon his elemental archer elf. Instead, he returned to his lord's courtyard. Jojo sat on the chair, still thinking about the illusory scene he had seen in the time ruins. That should be what really happened. The secret hero inheritance manual is really Nadia's hero inheritance. So she advanced to a hero after such an experience. Such drastic changes in life would indeed allow one to grow quickly. He shook his head and stopped thinking about it. Then, he took out the diamond tier Scarlet Lord Talent Sphere. Jojo willed. He said expectantly. A golden light flashed on the Scarlet Lord Talent Ball. After the golden light disappeared, the blood-colored light on the Scarlet Lord Talent Sphere had already disappeared. Its message has also changed. Treasure name, Lord Talent Sphere Peace and Prosperity. Treasure grade, Diamond tier. Treasure effect, after absorbing it, the Lord will possess the Diamond tier Lord Talent Peace and Prosperity. Treasure description, a Lord Talent Sphere purified by the Supreme Will. After absorbing it, you can obtain a Diamond tier Lord Talent. Peace and Prosperity. It looks a little like the Territory Folk Custom Lord Talent mentioned on the World Channel. Territory Folk Customs type was a big category amongst numerous Lord Talents. He had seen many lords mention that they had a Territory Folk Customs type Lord Talent on the World Channel. For example, Courageous and Ruthless that could increase the combat strength of his subjects, Frugal Home that could increase the wealth of his subjects, Wealthy World that could make it easier for the residents of the territory to change their professions to merchants. These were all the Territory Folk Customs type. He did not think too much about it and used it directly. The text notification appeared again. Do you want to absorb this Lord Talent Sphere, Diamond tier? This Diamond tier Lord Talent Sphere immediately turned into countless diamond-colored light spots and surged into his glabella. Jojo closed his eyes. He reopened his eyes again after some time. Then, he immediately opened his Lord's personal information. His Lord Talent column had already been updated. Lord Talent, 100% drop rate, Legendary tier, Gnome Alchemy Workshop, Green Bronze tier, Monster Ranch, White Silver tier, Insight Defection, Black Iron tier, Peace and Prosperity, Diamond tier. My fifth Lord Talent. Then, he immediately opened the details of the talent. Lord Talent, Peace and Prosperity, Diamond tier. Peace and Prosperity, a Territory Folk Customs type. Your territory is safe and peaceful, and the lives of your subjects are stable and happy. All your subjects are very satisfied with their current lives, so they revere and love you. Your subjects will have a baseline of their loyalty to you. The loyalty of your subjects will gradually increase the longer they stay in the territory. Specific Talent Effect 1, your subjects' loyalty to you is 71 points. Specific talent effect 2, subjects with loyalty between 71 and 80 points. For every day that your subjects live in your territory, their loyalty to you will increase by 1 point. Specific talent effect 3, subjects with loyalty between 81 and 90 points. For every day that your subjects live in your territory, their loyalty to you will increase by 1 point. Specific talent effect 4, when the number of subjects with loyalty of 90 points and above reaches 1000, your territory will become famous. Many living beings will know that your territory is a peaceful territory, slightly increasing the probability of foreign life forms coming to join you. Current number of people who meet this criteria, 15/1,000. After Jojo finished reading, there was only one thought in his mind. What an abnormal Lord talent. Part 3 of the series ends here. If you enjoyed it, please give us a like and subscribe so we can be motivated to make even better videos in the future.